Hello, guys. Welcome to the Froggystyles show. We're back here about to close out the market for the week and see how things kind of wrapped up and how it unfolded. I did put out Max Payne at noon during my lunch break. If you guys want to stop over at my Twitter and check it out, it is posted. I'll probably re-update it if it has changed. But currently, let me pull it up right now. Yeah. Currently, I'm going to go over all those numbers and see if any of them changed. Mediocre, you want to go ahead and open things up so I can
sure.
post things?
How's everybody doing today? Happy Friday weekend. We're ready to relax. I know a lot of us hate the weekend because we don't get to trade, but, you know, weekends are nice. Weekends are relaxed. Weekends are family. So we're going to do that, you know, have a good weekend. But we'll have some good shows anyways. Hi, Miss Harris. How are you today? And yeah, I hope everybody has a good weekend, but we'll have a good show today and see what's going on. Miss Harris, you there?
I'm here. I'm wonderful. Thank you for asking. Glad to hear your voice. How's everyone? Hello, Jeremy.
Hey, what's going on? The speaker's not very loud for some reason. That's weird.
I could hear okay.
No, it's not normal. Let me restart it real quick.
Go for it.
All right, Miss Harris, go ahead and say something.
Hello,
What's up,
hello.
How you doing?
Hello.
That's better. Yeah, it was acting kind of goofy. I didn't know what that deal was.
Yeah, happy Friday for sure. We'll have a nice weekend. I'd like to get my boat out, but I don't think that's happening.
Almost done. Just posting this last spot here.
Hello, Rhonda.
AJ sending me messages.
I see you, Rhonda. Hello. She's so kind. She always supports you from the terrible and sense community as well. See you, Miss Rhonda. Hello. Blockbuster, see you here too. You're from the community. So thank you guys for supporting. Appreciate you.
Speaker's awful quiet for some reason. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll have to use the other one.
AMC's heading right back up to that 161.8, baby. Would you look at that, Froggy? Amazing, huh?
AMC, or do you mean GME?
AMC. It's heading up to the Fibonacci level I was talking about, 161.8. Remember that green line I showed you?
Yeah.
It's heading right back there. That's 1673-ish. Is that what you got for Max Payne?
For AMC?
Yeah.
I got 1725 plus or minus a quarter.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to recheck it just to make sure it's still on pace, but.
I see our good friend, your party, the one that's up in the space car with you. Probably can't see the space car, so he sees them, but he can't. If he goes down so far, he'll wind up not seeing anything. So he's gonna do the chat. Yoko's gonna do the chat. He's gonna try to do some of the space car, both of them, but I can see all of you guys. So one, definitely appreciate you. You show up all the time, but the ones in the space car as well.
Yeah, welcome, the one. Right now we have this is unusual. Let me pull this up here so you can see it. From Max Payne. Look at this little mess here. This is AMC. You got puts at 17, calls at 17. If they go under 17, obviously it's bad for us. If they go over 17, I mean, that's good for us. So, I mean, they're cutting a fine line here. It looks like right now they're honoring the puts. Let me see if we got 5-minute move. We're trending up, but we might not make it to 17. So 17 is definitely the battle line. They're going to probably try to keep us under 17 to go and blow out those calls, which will bring in puts, and it'll probably force the stock down on Monday, Tuesday. So we got a resistance right now at 1670. but we're going to be it looks like we're going to be testing that. So let me probably update that because that is a quarter off.
Yeah, Koba's already started his weekend. What's up, Koba?
Let's do a quick GME check too. I actually put a lot of them on my list today just because they're all of interest. GME is still sitting at 140 to 145. That's not changed, plus or minus a little bit. So it's 142, 50, plus or minus 250. And then the next one I did was, I can't even see it, HYMC. For some reason, I misspelled that one. This is the one that's going to be interesting on where they park it. Currently trading at 151. Max pain is exactly 150. So if it finishes up 1 penny, I mean, that's definitely a bonus for all the calls. But if it finishes under a penny, that's definitely bad. So 150 plus or minus 0.05 is kind of reasonable. GME, Tesla, DWAC, SPY. We'll do Tesla real quick. Tesla's trading at 10.13 right now, and max pain is currently sitting at 10.15 plus or minus 5.
Now, Froggy, show them how they
watch the list as well. That's the bad back to beyond as well.
Yeah, give me a second here.
Froggy, while you're doing that, can you show them how the website actually gives them a different max pain than what we're talking about?
Yeah, this is Tesla's max pain. If you look at the calculated one, this is the one that everybody uses here, and I don't. It says right here, Tesla max pain 1000, and I don't calculate it that way because they base it upon every option. And as you can see, if you calculated all these options and averaged it out and figured out where it's supposed to be, you'll get this number here that never works right. If you were a market maker and you could see basically all the players on the game and you can go and cut it right down the middle and hurt most of them at the same time, you would actually put it right between this red one and that green one. And it gives you a price between 1,010, 1,020, putting max pain at 1,015 plus or minus 5. All it is just a visual. All you're doing is you can see what would be best for the market maker, and they usually, I mean, always park it there pretty faithfully. So
I think it works.
Right now we're going to be doing DWAC, which is the questionable one, because it's still pretty far away. Trading at $41 right now. Coming down here, take a look at max pain. There's your puts. There's your calls. Puts you at 142.50 to or not 142, to 42.50 to 45. That puts you at 43.75 plus or minus a $1.25. I think that's what it is. 43.75 plus or minus $1.25. That means if they squeeze it to 42.50, they'll put you right at max pain. So most likely they'll honor that. I'm about to do SPY next. I want to get this information out there so anybody that wants to set themselves up for Friday, they'll at least have the data. SPY's trading at 429.75. Max pain on that one is between there's no way they're going to let them 430s go in. Like, the market maker doesn't want to pay that money. So obviously you're going to be above 430. This is actually like kind of neutralized. So it's not very necessary that they run it past this number because there's calls and puts and they offset each other. But technically the best place to be would probably be right here at 433. You got 430, 435. So it'd be 432 and a half. Plus or minus 250. And then we got Bed Bath & Beyond. We'll just add it since we're going to do it. And now it's trading at 1788. Max Pain. Obviously, they don't want it above 17. If it does close above 17, you'll have a gamma ramp on Monday, which is really good. Sounds like a good investment to me, to be honest. But anything under 17 is going to be good for the market maker. So I'm going to say 17 or 1650 plus or minus 50 cents because you have to give it a range. Technically, anything minus a penny under 17 is going to blow out options. So that's actually going to be one to keep an eye on because if that closes in the money, I mean, you know what happens there. Next week, Monday, they have to cover those options because they didn't delta hedge for them, and it's going to make one heck of a ramp.
Yeah.
And it's already running up real nice if you pull up the chart. I mean, it's looking pretty good on the 5 minute. 15 minutes looking real strong. It's actually breaking out of the Bollinger Band here. We're going to check the 2 hour. It's got room to move. I mean, it could go up to 1868 based upon volume. I would expect that to be a stopping point. There's still a lot of time left, but that's the thing that's got me concerned is there's a lot of time left. If there was only like 2 minutes left and you're trading at 1837, I'd be really excited. But the fact that there's still 16 minutes to go, I mean, I don't want to say it to sound negative, but expect the attack to be coming. So I'm going to park this little donut thing over here. Yeah, let's go and park this donut right here. This is the minimum spot they have to take it down to is the center that, well, actually, I'm not going to use a donut. I'm going to use a line. They need to pull it all the way back down to here in order to hurt the gamma ramp for Monday, which is pretty far away. I mean, you got positive momentum. You got a double dip here, so your cup and handle, which is exactly what you want. Even though it's on a 1 minute time frame, this thing could still pop up there, and it's already starting to break that resistance line right there. That's only a temporary, but it still has a chance to keep running and then circle back down. And I bet they attack it, but we'll keep an eye on it because I think it's kind of important to watch this play out because you can clearly see there's a trend on here. I mean, that's a trend, and it just broke trend. So, and that's not good. But that was going into what appeared to be a wedge. So you got your wedge, A, B, C. It got defeated. Now it's not confirmed. It looks like it's confirmed, but if the next candle that pops up on the 1 minute, it's over here somewhere underneath this line and not back in here, then it's negative trend. It's a reverse of trend. So then at that point, they're going to probably push it down. And then you actually don't want a volume ramp here because then it could run down quicker and get to that number. If you get a volume ramp here, then you're going to be racing down, and that's not what you want right now. And you can see here, death cross coming up. It's only on the 1 minute time frame. It's a lot of movement. I mean, I'm kind of hoping it doesn't do it. I'd love to see gamma ramp Monday on Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm already looking at it thinking I might buy into it at the close just so I can get that gamma ramp. Yeah, I'll check out ATR and MULN here in a second. Let's do ATER first. I'll come back to Bed Bath & Beyond. ATR is popping up. It's on a 1 minute time frame though. Let me pull it back a little bit. Max pain is between 5 and 450, so 475 plus or minus a quarter. It's very negative if it closes below 450. So you'll have downward pressure on Monday, and it's not going to make it. It don't even have the room on the bands to get there. Let me see if another time frame might have it. You do on a 15, but you ain't working on 15. You're working on the 5. Yeah, there's no way you're going to get up there. That's a problem. I don't know. 18,900 put options are going to go in the money if it closes below 450. And it looks like it's going to probably do so. So that means probably Monday, Tuesday, it'll probably be down. But that's just a guess for now. I'm going to write that one down because I do want to cover that one since it's going to have negative hedging. Let's check out Mullen, MULN. Mullen's up to $1.48 right now. Looks like it appears to be death crossing, but that doesn't guarantee anything. You got to have a confirmation candle. You haven't got that yet. So you got 48 seconds to find out, confirm a direction, maybe confirm a direction. It does look like a breakdown. If that candle pops out, doesn't turn green, it's coming down too. Yeah, it's already showing top. That's only 2 bounces though. Usually those hit 3 bounces. But like I said, we are on a new pattern, so these patterns are starting to double up. So you're starting to see a lot more little spikes in there. Oversold on 3 minute. That might be good. Let me pull this back just in case. 1 minute's oversold, but the gold cross 2. Let's see if that thing kicks up green. Because it comes right to the end of the support line. Let me go check Max Pain. Max Pain's $1.50 plus or minus a couple pennies. So if it finishes above 150, you're good. If it doesn't, then no bonus for the week. And there's a resistance level. It's right at 150, so you have to get up here. Actually, I think the chart's not updating. Give it a second. It's not even moving. It's confused. No, we'll go back over to Bed Bath & Beyond while that one's waiting to move. Now it's doing the double top thing, which is normal. It's going back up, retouching that line. You need a break here. Technically, the line's up here, but we're using solids. It has to get past this line here at 1862 to confirm new high. If it doesn't touch that line and break through it, it's basically a double top sign of weakness, and it will probably fall. If it breaks through, it will keep running. You'll get continuance. Looks like it's consolidating right here. See that? It went red, and then back to pink, back to red. Looks like consolidation, or it could be a top. It's not very clear yet. Let's go back to MULN. Still nothing. It's just going sideways. AMC.
AMC pulled back to 1650-ish.
Yeah, it needs to get back up to 17, or at least close to 17. Are we in a wedge?
Just looking at it. Yeah, we're in a, I don't know if it's a wedge. We're in a channel for sure, a down channel.
It needs to pop up to 1651 and get a volume ramp in order to get to 17. Oh man, it needs some help. There's the volume ramp. So I mean, there's the break on that trend. 1, 2. So there's a W. We need a lot more volume. We got 42 seconds in, and that candle's getting big. So you need to run the 1663 right now to get some momentum. Proof breakout. It's doing it. That's a half a candle right there. That's pretty big. It's being held down right now. If it pops out, it's going to be a big candle. So give it a second. Let's zoom in, wait for the big candle. Lots of upward pressure. Where's that big candle? I bet you it's going to jump right up here in a matter of like 3 seconds.
Yeah, because I think it's getting there. 1673-ish, 70, right around there. That's where.
Did you see that candle end up converting over with seconds left? That was weird. Now, this is a sign of weakness if it can't cross over. It's pulling back within the channel, and that's not good. So that's also a negative sign too, because I think that's going to bring in puts. Let me double check because I know something was going on there. You definitely don't want to bring puts in on max pain. Oh yeah, you're going to bring in a big stack of puts. The lower below, yeah, you're going to be 50 cents in the money for puts. That means damage will probably come Monday. If you stay here, you'll bring in 2 stacks of puts, which is not good. So you got 80 or 9,800 puts at 1650 and 11,100 puts at 17. Both those will go into money if it stays right here. So that's, in my opinion, that's negative for Monday or Tuesday, whichever day they got to cover those. Let's hop back over to Mullen, see if it's doing anything. Not really, but at least it's popping back up. So you might be getting that on Mullen. You definitely need it. BBIG. And there you go, about to fall back down. There's a channel. You went up, wedged, channeled. 1, 2, 3. It's actually a W. If it breaks underneath that, there's your neckline. If it breaks under that, you could be in trouble for the remainder of the day. So you want to make sure that 1760 line holds. If it falls underneath it, very bad. There it goes. It's not really confirmed yet, but it's not looking good. The confirmation candle will be the next one.
Yeah, if it opens up below that line, it's done.
Still pretty far away from 17. Well, that's a good sign. Somebody smacked it back up there. Star candle, maybe? What's a red star candle mean? I don't remember.
I don't know. I'd have to go look at a chart.
I usually don't pay attention to the star, hammer, shovel, all that goofy stuff.
I look for hammers and dojis. That's about it. But if that candle closes and a new one starts there, it's done.
Well, it looks like it's a confirmation candle. It's still continuing red. Now the thing you don't want is a ramp up in volume. You could circle like this and come right back up and go back in there if the sell pressure is dying. And you can see it here. The volume is ramping down. So as long as it continues to ramp down, that just means that the bottom is lower than we think it is. And it's just making a new bottom. Not a big deal. But if that volume ramps up at this point, you're going to be in trouble. You're looking for a pink candle or a pink bar to pop up right here on the next candle. And that will mean the bottom came in. So it's flat. You just don't want it to bounce down. That's what W's look like. Yeah, that's what a W looks like right there. Should light up pink. It's going to go back up and retouch that line. If it gets rejected at it, it's going to show up as a pink candle. Just like that. There's your pink. There's your buy signal, which means it should pop up. So it's an indicator. Let's see how much money comes in on that buy signal. I think short-term money is going to come in. Might be in luck. I don't think it's going to make it down to 17. That's too much work. Go back to MULN. And that one doesn't look like it wants to go up.
We'll go look at
DWAC
DWAC.
popping up.
No bueno.
It made it right to that resistance line, but I can't remember what I was looking at for that one. I should start writing this stuff down so I don't try to remember them all. Yeah, it needs to get above 450. So you need 10 more cents move in the last minute. There's no way it's going to get there. So those puts go into money, most likely. And it's going to be negative pressure on Monday. So it does look good, but it's just not going to be good enough. Too many puts.
Same thing with DWAC too.
Yeah, DWAC is same exact problem. It needed to get the 4250. Now it's going to have negative pressure on Monday. So that's definitely not good. It's already selling off. People are kind of already figuring. The people that look at Max Payne are probably looking at it saying, yep, there's about to be a sell-off on Monday, Tuesday. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully the dollar's weak and the market opens up. That looks like one of them FU candles right there. Those things always pop up. What's the other one here? Yeah, ATR, BBVY. So yeah, 1745 for for BBVY. So as long as since it did hold that was kind of probably good, I think.
Correct, said he's watching review through at 1348 and he started following it today.
That's a big stack of options that came in the money. 45 cents in the money for BBVY. I think BBVY is going to run a little bit Monday. So I'd expect that. It's the only one I think that's going to act a little weird in a good way. I should have bought that when it closed. I'll have to cover that one too. And then ATER. You could almost put puts on that one, but it's a little late now. But huge stack of puts went in the money. Not by very much, though. Only about 12 cents. But still, that's a lot of damage. Let's see how much damage got done to AMC. 1650s where it closed, like right on the dot. And that did not bring in the 9,800 puts that could have came into money. It just kind of blew them out by being right on the dot. So, but that brought in 11,100 puts. So like I said, Monday, Tuesday, expect downward pressure. We'll do GME next. Pretty weak market, if you ask me.
Yep.
GME should have closed under 145 over 140. Oh, geez. Well, 3,300 puts came in the money. And that means you're going to have more downward pressure on Monday on that one as well.
Yep. SPY's down to 425.
Let's check out SPY real quick. Ew.
Yeah, it's nasty.
That's horrible. I'm going to close that at 426.
We'll probably see a bounce on the SPY there, though. Probably stick around there for a little bit. If it falls through that, we're going.
Well, you
I
got
don't know.
314,000 puts that came into money. That's not good.
Oh my God. 410? 410 bucks, guy.
Yuck,
Oh my
man.
God.
SPY's going to get smashed Monday. Man, that's... Yeah, and look at it. There's another 173,000 that came into money. Another 183,000 puts that came into money. And, well, they stopped short. Let me see. 142,000 puts came into money. SPY's going to get spanked Monday. Like, spanked.
Yep.
So expect a very red market on Monday. The only thing they could save it would be the Fed pumping money in. That would be it. And I don't think they're doing that either. So that's going to probably pull AMC and GME down. The only one that looks like it's going to be positive for Monday is Bed Bath & Beyond. So it's looking like it should be up, but if the whole breadth of the market goes down, they could get some blowback from it. I'd expect them to be the stronger of the stocks. I still kind of wish I would have just bought that. You don't usually get to see firsthand information. It feels like insider trading when you see the information pop up. And problem is I didn't react on it. I should have. Now my stock's going to be down Monday, and Bed Bath & Beyond will probably hold strong.
How low do you think AMC can go? Someone's in the chat asking, how low do you think AMC can go?
Let's go check our supports.
1560, I think. I already looked at it today.
1560?
Something like that, yeah.
That's
Let me
pretty
go
low.
pull it down.
Let me see
Well,
what I got here.
we were at 16 today. 1580 maybe it is. Let me go to a farther out time frame.
Is those your at or you started again, Matt? Because you said, how low do you see AMC going? But you have 1650 beside it. So you're asking Jeremy, it's going lower than 1650? I need to make that clear, though, sir.
1580 has major support.
Yeah,
There's a lot of support at 1580.
Support level about 1580, 1590. And then there's another support level at 1521. But there's a buy check mark in there. It should hold up. I don't know. It is definitely on a downtrend. I think the whole market's going to get hit Monday.
I do too.
I mean, seeing how SPY is just lit up red for puts, I mean, makes me want to buy a put. I wonder if I can get out early enough on Monday and get some puts on SPY. Because it's going to take them a couple hours to load up on that stuff.
I'm going to get some puts Monday. The poots. Gonna love them.
Yeah, it's already selling off like they already knew it was going to go down. I mean, look, 2 days straight. I mean, they basically set the chain to get smoked. They blew apart Max Payne, not by a little bit, by a lot. So, I mean, you figure Max Payne was 432. 430 is bad, and it went way below that. So, bringing in stacks and stacks of puts. So, I don't know. Maybe the crash is here. If you look at the dollar, and this is one of my things, it's over 100. It's way over 100 now. It's at 101.16. And it did have a pullback, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it pulled back and it just popped right back up and it's still running. I mean, it's not really slowing down too much. Little hiccup here and back to a new high, short-term high. Definitely negative on dollar.
And card, Froggy teaches how to trade options and puts one-on-one, but you have to be a member for as low as $4.99. And cards when he wants to learn how to do puts and options.
Yeah, we can cover that stuff. I've been thinking about starting to fire up Discord and using it for like a class kind of thing, and opening it up for members, because I want to start color coordinating people for like what level they bought, so then we know who's a member, and it gives you access to the VIP channel for basically direct one-on-one training.
Yeah, you guys got to get on our Discords. That's where all the information is. It's going to be on the Discords because we could save it there and make it easy for you guys. And we have a way to communicate with you and help you guys out. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely jump on the Discords.
Now, we were looking at doing a stock screener thing that goes to the Discord, so then you can get your 1348 working. And all you got to do is just wait for the alert, and then you still want to check the chart and make sure that it's working as intended. But once it calls something out, I mean, it'll give you an idea of something to look at. And the goal isn't to get like super rich off it, it's to make money consistently on a trade. And like the first thing you definitely have to learn is how to read the chart. If you already know how to do that, then trade the chart. And then once you get good at that part, add a little leverage to it, and the money should pop up. And then at that point, you manage risk and just basically kind of diversify. And that's it. Just expand.
You know, if you guys are making money doing this 1348 deal, the whole point of it is so you could take your money, and I mean, it's your money, you do what you want. I'm not a financial advisor, but it would put more money into your pocket where if you wanted to buy a specific security, you could, you know, like the popcorn stock or something.
Yeah, one good thing is what we're doing over here is we're actually paying attention to the true Max Payne number, and I think that gives you a super advantage. And I do have a training video on how to figure out the number, so it shouldn't be too complicated, because I mean, I think pretty much anybody can look at it and figure out the number quite easily. But I do have a training video on it for members, and you can go over there and check it out, because I think knowing the real Max Payne, I mean, if you look at what I did there, I pulled the Max Payne, I figured out where the options were located, and then like on the SPY, let me pull up the SPY. It's a perfect indicator for anybody to see.
I just want to say there's a comment here that says, I know I don't need to use Discord, but why the F is every YouTuber pushing his Discord? And I would say we're not really pushing our Discord. We haven't really pushed our Discord, and our Discord's open. So we're not charging anybody for that. So I don't really know what your question is. We're just trying to help people, and that's what we're doing.
Discord is a tool that is useful for, like, if we have a stock screener, it doesn't work with YouTube.
Exactly.
It works with Discord. And then on top of it, you get to go in with a bunch of like-minded people, and you get to be like, hey, did you see that? It popped up. What do you think? And then you guys can sit there and like, okay, it looks like it's setting up. Check out Max Payne. Okay, good. It's ready to go. And then if you want, you can jump on that play that was popped up there. And that's why they're using Discord. Yeah, some people do charge a lot for it, which, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to sound mean and sound like it's, you know, it's ignorant that they're charging that much, but I mean, to each their own. And I don't see any point of charging any large amount, but we do have to still set it up. We still have to provide information. We do have to put time into it. And like the stock screener thing, I mean, how long do you think it would
They're
take?
not free. It costs money too for us to get the stock screener. I can tell you that.
Yeah, the stock screener costs us money per month to have it, to put it up on there. And then we still got to teach people to 1348, make other videos for other questions. And then we still got to, you know, take the time to go over just to make sure that you're looking at things right, so you don't make mistakes. And that's what we're looking at right now. And the goal is really to make money. That's 100% the goal. If you can make one trade, make $100 on it, I mean, and it costs you $5 for the membership, why not? You know, like, now the goal is to be the 1348 from what Gabe was saying was 75% effective, which means 25% you'll miss, 25% you'll hit, the other 50% will be profit. So to me, it's a win-win. Instead of, like, you don't want to do double or nothing, then get wiped out. You want to do 10%, 10%, 10%, and then as the numbers win one, lose one, win, lose another one, win, lose. Once you get to that, you got 50% of your trades are all wins. And if you're only making, we'll say if you're not using leverage and you're only getting like 2 to 3% per trade, and you got 5 of them are successful, I mean, that's no less than 10% on your money. With leverage, obviously it goes up, you know, probably 10 times that. But I mean, that's what we're looking at here, is to be more efficient, to try to get the trades to be more successful. I think where we have the advantage is, like, we actually use Max Payne differently, and it's more effective. And what I'm going to show you here is the Max Payne and the reason why it works. And if you come over here and look at SPY, you can see here that there's a lot of puts sitting here at 430, at 429, 428, and 427. The stock price traded at 426. These didn't actually come into money, but all of these did. So if you look at it, all those will have to be covered on Monday, which will put negative pressure on the stock. And now when the 1348 pops up, which it should, I think it should have already popped up like yesterday, but it's going to accelerate and start going down faster. And the fact that you see that Monday, nobody has an idea what's going to happen, or we could speculate and guess. But when you know that the market maker has T+2 where they have to cover these puts, there's a good chance that they're going to just push the price down Monday, Tuesday, then, you know, compensate, correct, whatever they want to do at that point. But your first 2 days should be profitable if you're sitting in a put position. And that's what I'm looking at here. I'm not saying everybody should be playing puts or anything like that, but to me, it looks very clear that it's going to go down Monday, and probably viciously. I mean, it's already dropping.
I'm sorry, Encort is asking you, Froggy. He said, can you use the 1348 to read stocks or options only? He's asking you that.
Well, you can use it on options. Technically, you base everything off the stock, and then the option correlates with it. The option is just it's just leverage. That's all it is. And once you figure out the stock's movement, you pick your strike and you go in on the option. Timing is definitely important on whether you use the option or not. But like I said, the 1348 will prove to you if the play is ready to be used or to be traded. And
there's other technicals too. That's what I wanted to bring up, right? Like, it's not just a 1348 crossing, right? Like, we want to teach you guys support and resistance levels, all kinds of technical patterns and stuff like that, because that all plays a role on top of 1348. It'll make everybody a better trader. That's just my thoughts on it, right? Froggy's been trading. How long you been trading, buddy?
Long time, man. Many
Exactly.
years.
So
And like I started with trading normal stocks on margin, and I did really good. And like I said, I traded on margin with no options, and I went from $1,100 to $28,000 in a year. And that was actually hard, but that was in an uptrending market, and it was easier. This is a nightmare, but it's still easy to understand. There's more technicals to it, and depending on the stock you pick too, manipulation runs wild in the market. But that's why you want to pick something with a 50+ market cap, so you don't have to deal with the manipulation as much. Then you can look at fundamentals and work off of that, and it's more consistent. Like, yeah, they monkey with SPY, but not too much. It's more natural looking. And where did your 1348 show up on SPY that was a buying opportunity?
at what time? Let me go in the server. I'll tell you.
We could probably do a 2-hour time frame.
So you,
I find it difficult in the Discord. I do find Discord difficult. Dynamo Mike is asking anyone in the chat, do they find it difficult? I find it difficult, but I don't know about others.
What's difficult?
The Discord. I know it's just writing a message. But it's more to it, because you tell me so much other things you can do, but it's hard. It's difficult to navigate. I put that away, in my opinion.
Well, that's where Boss Blunt uses his. They go over and they all hop in the same call. It's just like this. It's the same thing. You hop in, you got a call. You can also text the chat and add stuff the same way. I think it's more useful than Space Call. But what makes Space Call good is it pops up right on Twitter and people can see that you're in it, and then they hop in too. Discord, I mean, it doesn't have that promotion where you can see that people are currently active. They just got to come in and jump in the call. So when you make a call, it's the same thing. Everybody's face will pop up in there. But the thing is I don't think you grant people permission. I think they all just get permission and they can all talk at once. And I think only the mods can turn on and off the mic. So I think there's a little bit difference, but what would you have for the 1348 on the 2-hour?
okay, so at today at 8:39 a.m. this morning, SPY had a 3-minute cross down at $437.72.
Now it should be diverging right now, right?
I don't know. I have to go look at the chart.
I'm talking about the 1348 should be diverging, like getting worse.
Oh yeah, it's spreading.
Yeah, so that's when it starts to spread like that. You typically don't see that happening. Usually, you see it go down, reverse, and go back up. What you're going to see is what they call a parabolic move. You're going down, and it goes down faster, and that's considered parabolic. And if it continues to dip and accelerate faster down, that's when you'll see a crash or whatever. And it's no guarantee we're going into a crash, but I mean, numbers look really bad for Monday, and it's already starting to sell off now. So I can only imagine what the full market's going to do. I bet you the VIX is ripping.
I bet you it is too. I'm curious.
Oh yeah, spiking. Up 24%. So it's telling you people are selling off across the market and stuff. And that means UVXY is popping.
Yep.
Up only 18%. That's weird. Usually that's like double.
Check SH. I learned about this one today from my Discord, from people on my Discord. I never traded SH.
It's only up 2.8%.
Yeah, but my point was that's another inverse of the SPY that I didn't know about. I usually trade UVXY.
And one thing I did mention is, as soon as we go over $100 for the dollar, I mean, we're in that range that anything bad that can happen will happen, and we definitely popped above it. I drew a line here at 193 cents. It hopped right over that with like ease. So we're at 101. Hold on a second. All right. So that's what we're looking at. That's unfortunate. I'm stuck in a different position. I should have sold that towards the end of the day, but and to prove my theory on it, watch the after hours on BBBY. It should be spiking up. I wouldn't think that it's going to go down. Is it BBBY? Yeah, that's the buy one. It should be running up in the after hours because people are, if they're smart, they're going to be buying it. It'd be kind of weird to see SPY get smashed and watch BBBY start popping up. Hold on, I gotta fix the speaker now.
So Jeff says he jumped into the SPY at 9:10 a.m. this morning, and he probably made bank, didn't you, Jeff?
What, for a put?
Yeah, he bought a put this morning. Is what he's saying.
Oh, good. Yeah, if you were able to read that's good.
Jeremy or Mediocre Trader. Western saying, hey, Froggy, I just bought a subscription to TradingView, the indicator Evan. Do you have to twerk it, the setting, or leave it as it comes?
I would just leave it as it comes. It should be Evan, EVAN. There's like 4 things or 3 things built into it in one shot. And to be honest, it's my favorite indicator because I've had a lot of different stuff, and that has like buy sell signals. And you always go for the second one, the second dip. Sometimes the check marks don't show up, and you can see them. You can see what a dip looks like. Even though it doesn't give you a green check mark, you can tell that was a dip. So you just basically draw it in yourself or just visualize it for yourself. And then the second dip, you can clearly see it. Sometimes it's oversold, and you can get the little check mark and get in there. But that's definitely one of the most useful tools that I've used. And you don't even have to have the paid version because you can go with Evan, MACD, and RSI, and it's still a free one. Now, you want to make sure you have the account set up to where not a member, it's you're signed in or signed up or whatever. So it will save all your settings, because if you're not logged into it, the free version, you'll have to add all your indicators every time you go back to it, and that sucks. Now I'm going to run down through chat and see what we got going on here. Robert says BBBY was halted. Wow, that would be very interesting at that. Let me see here. Now, he said that earlier. So, yeah, that's kind of interesting that it would be halted for whatever reason. I'm willing to bet that it spiked up after it was halted, and it started running after that. That's what I'm thinking. Because you can see, let me pull this up here. You can see how it spiked up right here. And his message came in at, let me see here, 34. Which would have been back about here. So there was a halt that happened somewhere, must have been before this time frame. So I'm thinking it might have been halted right here, and then it spiked up large volume, and then it started running.
Ravenstown said it was halted at 3:30, but it's only 1:27. But Ravenstown said it halted at 3:30. I don't see the time things on here though.
Right, you got to have your time frames. Like everybody's probably at a different time frame, but 30 minutes before market close, I mean that's what they're looking at. And it was right after that halt, it spiked up and it kind of stayed up there, and now you got a whole bunch of options that are in the money. So I wish I knew about the halt. I should have been probably reading chat. That would have kind of helped. I was trying to get all the data on there. So we'll make sure we do that next time, is stay on top of it. What's those Discord links? You got 2 of them.
Yeah, one's yours, one's mine.
Oh, well, let me see here. Copy link.
Jeff, I just want to say good job on that 721% gain, buddy.
Jeremy, I've been posting the Discord link in the chat.
All right.
If you haven't seen it.
I'm putting them in there right now too. Just they're both going in. Both those are 2 separate Discords.
Yeah, that was a nice game, Jeff. I got to tell you. Good job, buddy. $721% in SPY.
If you haven't already, like you subscribe to the YouTube channel for Mediocre Trader and Froggystyles. Everyone's up in the space call. If you haven't already subscribed, please go down to YouTube channel, like and subscribe to Froggystyles and Mediocre Trader. It's greatly appreciated. I thank you guys.
Give me a second. I'm still reading down through here.
Weston W., if you jump on Discord, we can help you on there after the show, if that helps you any.
Okay, so Weston did say, I just bought a subscription to TradingView Indicator. Evan, do you need to tweak it? Yeah, I was just double checking to make sure that he did say he did buy the subscription. That gives you 5 indicators, which is nice. That's what I use. It's only like $15 or something a month, but like I said, you didn't have to buy it in order to get 3 indicators, and Evan's counts as 1. So, which is really nice. That's why I use it, because it's like, and you get volumes free, so it's like your 4th indicator. Yeah, I wish I would have known that BBBY was halted. Like I said, I should have been reading the chat, and I would have figured that out there. Because that would have definitely been an influence on jumping in it.
Law 1 is asking, can you check IMPP? She said that I put in an option today and it did not get filled. I believe something's going to happen to it near term. That's what she said. She probably, will you check IMPP? I put in an option today and it did not get filled. I believe something is going on. Something's going to happen in the near term.
Well, the most of the calls that were out the money didn't go in. You're overbought right now on the 30-minute. 2 hours working its way back up. It didn't hurt that you missed it. You might have a better chance on Monday. I would sit out and wait for everything to correct on Monday and let that mess happen, what's going to happen with the market, before getting in. Because you definitely want a confirmation for a breakout, and you really don't have any confirmation of direction change. So You do a lot of negativity in the stock. Negative trend-wise. Bottom really hasn't been secured. It does look like it might have attempted one, but you probably still got some time going into Monday before you have to worry about picking it up. So yeah, it's definitely oversold on the 2 hour. If you're holding it for a longer period of time, like a week time frame, I mean, that wouldn't be bad. Now, we definitely give yourself time on the options. Probably getting a deeper in the money option would be good too, because it looks like the 150s are getting blown out. The dollars would probably be a good pick. And looks like they have 50 centers, which wouldn't be too bad. But when you buy deep in the money, you provide upward pressure on your stock to help make you money. So if you buy the $1.50 ones, there's no guarantee the market maker's hedging for those. So you're basically on your own on that point. That's what happened to these. There was all these calls, but there's no delta hedging, so it didn't move the price up. So it got stuck. It actually went down. So that's the problem about buying up the money. Doesn't benefit the stock's pressure. You see any other questions that you want to pull up?
I'm looking. I only get to see like a handful. We got to fix this thing so it works better.
You should be able to see them all.
I can't scroll through them.
Should be able to.
Let me look. Maybe I can. Oh, look at that, dude. I couldn't see that. It's my bad eye.
Koba says, guys, let's get together and start learning the 1348. I agree. I think it's something we definitely need to start pushing in there. One thing we should work on is getting an indicator for TradingView set up that it's specific just for 1348. And then at that point, make it an easy thing to go pick up. Because in my opinion, I think everybody should be using TradingView. You can use Webull, but I prefer TradingView. Webull's for watching many other stocks. And I think most people do use TradingView anyways. I think there's more indicators.
A lot of people do. That is true.
BBIG.
Well, BBIG had a target way up here, about 250. It failed to hit it. Let me go check. It looks like it's going to be set for some negative pressure on Monday too. Oh, it won't be too bad. A little tiny stack of puts went in the money. It blew out all the calls. So you have no upward pressure from the calls. Both stacks of the calls got blown out. And that leaves 5,100 puts that came in the money. So again, it's kind of more convincing that BBIG will be down a tiny bit on Monday. Not quite as bad, but it's heading in that same direction.
You guys got questions or what? Anybody? Let's go. Come on.
You can pull comments too.
Is this the start of the crash, Mediocre Trader or Jeremy? Is this the start of the market crash?
It's definitely not looking good. It might be a slow trend down. It might just be a continue dip. Who knows? But it's definitely looking weak.
We've been looking at it for a few weeks now, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. It's been showing signs, but, you know, you won't know until it's done. You know what I mean? It either just collapses or whatever. But you know, we're heading down. If those puts go through, I could see us getting to 410 on this buy. So I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen, but it could. You know, it is what it is. If the dollar keeps climbing, there's a lot of factors involved, right? The VIX spikes up. There's a lot of stuff. It's not just one indicator. What did VIX do today?
Oh, it popped up.
How high did it get?
All he was asking, will you be teaching? That's all he said. Will you be teaching? He didn't say will you be teaching. He said, will you be teaching? That's Wall Street booking.
Yeah, we were just talking about adding in the 1348 on top of everything. So it's definitely the plan.
Yes, we're talking about working together on some stuff and getting some stuff done for you guys. Because ultimately the goal is to get the community to be able to look at charts and understand kind of what's going on, so that it wouldn't it be good for people to like be able to look at a chart and know for yourself, you know, or at least have an idea, you know, so you're not. I'm not saying that everybody is dependent on other people. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying like there's a lot of people who don't have a clue on what's going on, and all of this will help you come together. So when you look at a chart, you won't freak out as much when you get a red day and stuff like that. You know, you'll kind of have an idea if something's going to happen and it's going to go up, and you know, and hopefully you make money with the 1348 and other strategies, right? There's not the only strategy we do, but it's one of the ones I personally use that a lot.
Now, V oil looks like it's oversold right now, and judging by the option chain, it looks like there's some calls that came into money. It's not a ton or anything like that, but there's a few. So very light volume. I mean, there's a good chance it could bounce as long as the market doesn't pull it down.
Can I ask you a question, Froggy?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Happy Friday. Happy Friday, Miss Harris.
Thank you.
You always hear about AMC and GameStop having negative beta. In a day like today where things are really going down, I'm sure it's bringing AMC down a little bit, but are they still having to suppress it to keep it from shooting the opposite way?
Well, the negative beta, I don't believe the negative beta theory. I just believe it's constant buying pressure is what I think. And because there's a lot of investors in the stock, a lot of individuals. And when you got that many of them, and every time they get a paycheck, they buy like a share or two, that creates upward pressure. So I wouldn't say it's negative beta, but I do see what they're looking at. They feel that there's constant upward pressure even in a negative market. So it looks like it's negative beta, and it's not really that. It's just same thing that happened to Tesla. It's like people were obsessed with buying the stock and they pushed it up when the market was going down, and they kind of popped because of it. So same thing will happen.
So like at the end of today, you think that's just more buying pressure that's making it go up?
Yeah, we have constant buying pressure. Even though it's starting to die down a little bit, we still have constant buying pressure. So even if there's a negative market, you're going to see that we're going to be, you'll still see the buying pressure, but they have to really push the price down in order to hold it down. I think there is an offsetting thing that they're doing, but when the whole market goes down, obviously we're going to get hit, and it's going to be based upon buying pressure if we can get back to zero.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate you, Doug Nater. Appreciate you. Go ahead, SU Ray has a question for you, Jeremy, or Mediocre Trader. Go ahead.
Well, I've got a question and a comment. First on the question, what do you think about the no options may?
I like it. I like part of it. There's actually two phases to it. I was the one that wrote that meme up on there that had the Godzilla and stuff. That was me that made that. But the idea behind the no options may is a lot of people don't invest options properly. They're all buying out the money and they're getting blown out. And one thing that I was saying after the squeeze that people could do to make money is sell calls and make money on premium. Well, the market maker is just writing all the calls. So whenever they're making premium, they're just cleaning up on everybody. And if they have an idea where the stock's going to be throughout the week, they already know which ones are going to make them money and which ones aren't. And like I said, I don't think, because if I have a call and I'm going to sell it, or if I have stock and I'm going to sell a call, I have to have collateral. Well, the market maker is just like, I got you. And then you're like tossing money at it. And then they just put it in their pocket, or they use it to short the stock. And it's like, you can't win when you're feeding the beast.
Gotcha. And then on the comment, you like that tweet about not paying taxes and it would get people's attention. I don't think that'll work, because I don't think enough people would do it, even if they said they would. What could be done easier is your employer no longer withholds anything from your paycheck. You got every dime of it. And at the end of the month, you had to actually write that check to the government. And all of a sudden, people would realize what's being stolen from them every damn paycheck.
Yep.
I 100% agree with you. And that we need more people talking about that, because that'll change a lot of things in this country.
Like me personally, I don't support any of the garbage that the government's been doing and how they've been spending our money. And they make it sound like you're forced to go and pay taxes. And like, they want you to believe that you're forced to pay taxes. Kind of like, there's a lot of things they want you to believe too. And most of it's voluntary anyways. Now, granted, they're going to try to make a big stink about stuff, but it'd be kind of interesting to watch a whole bunch of people pop up and say, look, we've had enough of your crap. You ain't getting any more funding until you do your job the right way. And if enough people step up, it's going to make a difference. And me, I support it. I would lead the charge on that, because, I mean, I'm already tired of the crap that goes on too. They're not even.
Yeah, but they won't wake up until they're writing that check every month. When you write that check and it comes out of your account, you get your paycheck, and it's your paycheck. That's what you got. Okay, go on, do my business. As soon as you get all of the money they're stealing from you, but you have to write a check and watch it leave your bank account, your perception of what the hell is going on is going to change a lot. Pardon my language.
No, I agree 100%. A lot of people don't realize how bad they're getting screwed until they actually basically have to give it to them.
And I would add to that, if we did a national strike, that would change a lot with the markets, because people wouldn't be putting money into the markets if they were on strike for a week or two, and that's going to hurt everybody as well.
See, they're not even trying to fix the market. Like, they're pretending and they're dragging their feet and they're just kicking a can down the road. But they know what they're doing is not helping. Like, if they wanted to fix the problem, just like how we think, if we wanted to go do something, we just go do it. These guys, they have 101 excuses. Oh, we're slow. And then there's swapping rules, and the market maker's still running wild, doing all this weird stuff. And it's like, come on, man, like, do something. Like, you're not even trying. And it's pathetic. It's not even like, at this point, just obvious. It's almost intentional. And like, Gary Gensler's been there for a year. What has he done? Kick the can.
That's it.
Now you see the NSCC's coming up with garbage. The DTCC's coming up with garbage. And it's like, nothing benefits us here. They're all like crap rules that don't do much of anything. And if there is a good rule, it's been delayed. And it's like, they're not even trying. They're just trying to see how long they can stretch this out for. There's no way this show.
Thanks, Froggy. Thanks, Steve. I'll step back down to listeners so I can get back to work.
All right. Thanks, man, for the question.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you in here every day. We appreciate you. I'm going to be butchering your name, but I always say you right. So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Brandon, we're always watching for questions, buddy.
Yeah. I should have been reading the comments a little sooner, but I was trying to dig into all the stocks, so I kind of fell behind. But we're just now getting caught back up here.
Cynthia Kane said that the IRS is the freaking mafia.
I agree 100% to that statement. I mean, the fact that they can come and like take you away because you didn't voluntarily pay your taxes, I mean, show me where it actually states that you have to pay taxes. You have to pay it once you admit that you have taxes that you want to pay. But where does it say that you have to go and report your stuff? I mean, once you report it, then you're obligated, and then you have to hold it's like a contract. And that's where they're getting you, is like they're making your employer turn you in. So then you're basically obligated to pay taxes. Well, how about you tell your employer to quit turning you in? You know, like then they make it to where that's a rule. And it's like they're doing everything they can to go and rip people off. Then they're raising taxes, cranking the inflation. And they're not, like, even with fixing the roads, they're not even fixing the roads with your gas tax.
Or bridges.
Like, what are they doing? Like, right now we got the school trying to increase taxes by 5%. Now, the first problem I have is our school over here, the average pay per student is actually 20% higher than the national average, which is ridiculous. The second thing is when the mask mandates were going on, parents were screaming that they didn't want their kids masked up. And they basically told the parents, we don't have to listen to you. Now they're asking us for a 5% raise. Well, you know the answer to that one. It's the same one they gave us. Go fly a kite. But what they're trying to do is they're holding meetings secretly. Nobody knows when these meetings are popping up so they can go do these votes. So we're trying to track the information down. Our representative has not a clue about any of the information. I'm like, dude, that's your job. Go, you're supposed to be doing this for us. And we're asking you, when is this meeting? He brought the information up, but he has no clue when the meeting is. He don't know where it's at. And I'm like, we can't even find it either. And I'm like, we're asking you to go find it. That's your job. And it's everything's so backwards. Like the representatives don't even represent the people. They just sit in there and they collect money and they vote for me. Why? Like, all they tell you is go look at the school's website and find out the information. Aren't you supposed to know all that stuff? Apparently not. Then what is a rep actually supposed to do? What do they represent? I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it different, like wrong. I know the one would probably dig right into it if he wasn't working right now, because this is probably right up his area.
Oh, no, I agree with you. I was reading Brandon S.'s question. We should probably grab that one.
Well, I'm looking at Weston's right now. It says, Ant Card says you need to.
Let me see if he's busy.
Yeah. Ant Card, Weston says you need to set up the indicators up to 1348 and 200 moving average. Also have the MACD and the RSI indicator as well. So that's pretty much it. If you got a question, Mediocre Trader, just read it off.
All right. So Casey Shaw got back on after close, stating some options data had changed with a lot of them closed from earlier. Did you guys see this? Well, I don't know. It's easier when you put it over here. It's bigger. I got a bad eye, buddy.
I have two screens. I can't see the current one, if it's especially on your side.
My bad.
But yeah, Weston says here, Review Dork has a very good video on the 1348, so we'll probably have to definitely check that out for the setup, unless we already have something.
I apologize. And I really do apologize, Jeremy. Okay, Froggy, do you think Retail Combined has just as much money as Citadel, being that we own 90% of the float?
No, we have way more money than Citadel. We're just spread out over the whole entire market. And the problem with Citadel is they don't even have to carry much collateral. That's so stupid how they let the market maker do all the stuff they do. Like, they can write a call contract with no collateral. And the SEC pretends that they have to have 8%, which they don't. I guarantee they don't have 8%. They probably don't have a percent.
Can you check the status of the call options on AMC? That's what somebody was asking.
Hold on.
You got it, buddy.
Hold on. I'll be right back. A little one is asking me a question. Give me a second.
No problem. So, any
Oh,
questions?
man, Bob, just one moment. He'll be back. It's okay. It's the Mediocre Trader. Answer it. You can ask your question.
So Rob says, just an opinion, AMC runs with the market until it won't. I'm not afraid, and none of you should either. What's this market tanks you have?
A question regarding for Froggy, but it was mostly, and then I won for HYMC as well.
Okay, I can't pull up. Well, I can pull up a chart, but you won't see it. So,
right back, but you
what's
have
your
a bad
question?
connection, like you're chopping up. You're chopping up. So one moment.
All right, I'm back.
Okay, the gentleman said we had a call for you. He has a question.
That's your question. One, did you guys already go today?
Did we what?
I was saying, did you guys already go over HYMC for today?
Not yet.
Okay. My other question was, can you go over the call options for that? I'm not going to watch the whole thing, but will you be able to go over the HYMC's call options today?
Yeah, give me a second. Pulling it up right now. Oh, I finished right on the dot 150, so it probably blew out the puts and the calls. Yep, oh, wait a second. There was no put stack there. The calls got wiped out at 150. I think that brought the puts in. The puts were bought in the money. So those will probably get honored, but there's not very many. There's like 46 of them, so that's tiny amount. So I wouldn't expect it to go too much further now unless the whole.
And it was pretty stable all day. You think this is the bottom?
It's got to be pretty close, just because of the fact that the only thing that would hurt it at all would be the whole market selling off, but it would probably be shorter term. I mean, it's been doing pretty good at holding that line at about 150. So just watch for the market sell off, because like we were saying, SPY's going to get hit, and I don't know how much it's going to impact the overall market. So if there's too much damage done Monday, you might see a small pullback, but I think it is oversold. I mean, I personally bought.
I think I lost you guys.
I personally bought at this price today too on HYMC, so I thought it was a good dip. I had a feeling it was going to pop up to 160 today, and it did. Then when it pulled back, I bought in because I have a feeling that it was going to come back down, create that W bottom, and then possibly bounce back up after that. Looks like it actually hit a couple times. 1, 2, 3, and this is an oversell. So you're waiting for it to get back up to probably 170, 160. Yeah, once you get up to 160, that will be pretty close to your neckline. So on the 30-minute, it looks like it's coming back up for a gold cross. So that's exactly what you want for it to start moving back up. 2 hours already crossed, which is unusual. Yeah, I personally think that HYMC is at pretty much the bottom, unless, like I said, the market gets hit pretty hard. Hopefully that helps you.
I think he lost connection, but I have a question. I'll wait for him to come back up if he wants to come up. This is from, okay. It says, Froggy, Adam A is aware of the naked shorting. It seems he's not motivated to do anything to bring the manipulation to light. Your opinion, please.
Well, technically, the crappy part about the SEC, if you do anything to expose the naked shorting, you can get in trouble. And it should never be like that. Like, if Adam Aaron wanted to be a Paul Revere, he should be allowed to be a Paul Revere. But in this market, the SEC punishes Paul Reveres. So they claim they have a whistleblower program. They're not doing nothing. people have already
Yeah.
blown the whistle on this thing, and they're sitting back on their hands. So, I mean, the SEC is a complete joke, and it always has been. I mean, you look at one of the videos that I made, which was CMKX. They took part in that entire scam that happened back then, where there was all that naked shorting and everything that happened. They went in, scooped up the money, and they never paid out the money to the investors. And that was the good old SEC. So, I mean, Elon don't like them. There's probably a reason behind it. So, I mean, you look at it. Elon's trying to promote free speech, tries to go buy Twitter, and the SEC wants to go and investigate him because he's trying to do something positive. That does not make any sense. So you got to kind of know thy enemy. Like, you got to map the situation. You can tell who's not there for the retail, and the SEC is clearly not there for retail.
Yeah, corruption at its finest, and it runs deep.
Well, it's good that we're seeing it, but the problem is you got to recognize the problem before you can fix it. And a lot of people running into Gary Gensler saying, please help us. It's like, what do you mean, please? Like, that's supposed to be his job. He should be doing it willfully, but he's only pretending to do it so people don't completely catch on that he's part of the problem. If I remember, didn't he say before that if there was if this problem happened again, there wouldn't be any bailouts? Well, they've already dropped in what, $19 trillion. So, I mean, it might not be called a bailout, but it's obviously being used the same exact way. So Gary, which is on the plunge protection team, which has control of that stuff, isn't doing anything to stop it. And he even said he would. He's not stopping it. He's all in the problem. That's where the inflation.
Good information, sorry. I want to say I got to head off. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Good night.
Yeah, thanks for coming, man. Thanks for your question.
Thanks.
Okay, Jeremy, it said, well, I call you Jeremy. They say Froggy. I think it's overdue for the SEC to be investigated with fine-tooth comb. Is that even possible?
The SEC, in my opinion, should all be fired, because it's like if good people don't do their job, then bad people win. And since like none of them are fighting to make anything happen, get rid of all of them. Bring in some people that actually have good intentions or want to make a difference. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I had a feeling Gary wasn't going to do anything. He's Goldman Sachs.
Okay, so Froggy, the manipulation has gone unlimited beyond repair. No help from the news outlet or anyone in power holding. I'm going to read how they said it, Froggy. Holding, no helping the price action. Holding, no helping the price action to move upwards. John Wick. They said something. I'm not going to say what they said about that. They said John Wick. Somebody else might be on to something. And he said AMC will never squeeze.
Oh, it's going to squeeze eventually. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah. I mean,
just like Phil Pearl says, shorts haven't covered, and they haven't. So the play is still very well alive. It has not changed. It's just a matter of what regulatory agency is going to do their job to allow for it to happen. They're already trying to do the they're monkeying with the rules right now to try to minimize the damage to the hedge funds. Does retail get a bailout whenever we do a bad trade? Nope, we get screwed. So why should the hedge funds get a bailout or some sort of handheld situation where they get helped out of their situation that they put themselves in? They intentionally did it. So they should get blown out just like a normal investor would. But come to the rescue, and SEC pops up with these little rules that might help them. It's like, this doesn't make any sense. You know, they don't help us.
No, I agree. I mean, it's crazy to think that it's not going to ever happen, right? It doesn't have to happen in the next 10 minutes. It could take time to happen, but I don't disagree with the people who think, it's going to be hard for it to squeeze with everything going on. It is. It's a very difficult situation because we don't have the support of any of the people, the power players, right? Our government's not helping. Our alphabet communities aren't helping, so it's opening up people's eyes to the corruption is what it's doing. And that should be a major part of what we're here to do. Number one, I mean, I wanted to squeeze too. I'd love to get the money, but I would also like to fix the corrupt system that we all reside under.
Yeah, the sad part, this system didn't just get corrupted in one day. This has been going on for a very long time. It's just good that people are finally now starting to wake up and see it.
Okay, here's one that says Froggy. The DOJ, the FBI, the SEC have ignored our concerns. What can we do if we don't have anyone to express our concerns to who's left in our corner?
I don't know. I've been wondering that myself. I mean, if the SEC ain't doing their part and the FBI is not doing their part and the DOJ is not
doing their part,
I mean, who do you turn to next? I honestly think it's going to come down to a new president. Maybe new people in it for midterms will probably make a difference, because like if they wanted to take action as the government, they would order it in. They would be like, look, DOJ, fix this problem. But you don't hear them jumping up saying, hey, fix the stock market. They're just sitting back and insider trading it. I mean, look at Nancy Pelosi. She's insider trading the stock market, getting caught left and right. If they wanted it to be fixed, they would have been like, look, we're going to pass a bill, targets the stock market. Nope, they're doing nothing. They're just sitting back. So I think we need to have better people in government.
Okay, this is from Warren. He says, Froggy. This is fair to say that the market makers, the hedge funds, the break the rules shouldn't pay fines that is a fraction of the profits. The fine should be double any profits gained, and trading permissions should be taken away and revoked. Your opinion, Froggy?
Well, I agree 100%. I think that we suffer with inflation, and I think the fines should also be compensated with inflation. Some of those rules were passed like way back in like the 40s. So they got like $10,000 back then would have been, a major hurt piece. But you figure now, after all the inflation, they're making billions of dollars, and fines like that are nothing because the fines aren't inflated. And I think there needs to be an adjustment to the fine system to where they should be able to estimate the damage and multiply it by 10 and smack them. And and pull their right to trade. The floor is yours, man.
Yeah. How you guys doing?
Pretty good, man. How about
Nice
you?
to see you, Jay.
Good to see you. Froggy, I just want to correct you on one thing, and the only thing is, I'm just saying it so everybody has the right information. It's a conflict of interest. She has not been found guilty of insider trading. So just in case people go and they want to have like a challenging debate with somebody, it's a conflict of interest. That's the big problem. And supposedly within the rule conduct that congressional members, politicians, whatever, they signed a piece of paper that says, you're not supposed to be putting yourself in a conflict of interest. And with pictures of her and Soros, and several times at her house, the husband doing wheeling and dealings, it creates a major conflict of interest. But just in case, I just want to make sure that people know that she has not been found guilty of insider trading.
Now,
just so everyone's clear, not yet.
Who would actually go after? Who would actually go after her for insider trading? Would that be FBI or DOJ?
DOJ.
Now, who's in control of the DOJ? Isn't that the Senate or Congress?
Congress.
Well, oh yeah, right. But they would have to be asked to go and to investigate.
And there's been no orders made.
That's the problem. Go ahead. Sorry, I think I cut you off.
No, was there any orders made for them to go and investigate her on that process?
Not yet. There could be. I don't know. It hasn't been made public. I'm sure if it was already done, somebody would have leaked it. I can't see it being this long. It's like the same thing when everybody keeps saying Adam Aaron's wrong about what he owes. Gasparino at least would have been all over that story saying that, you know, Adam Aaron's a liar and he's going to be sued or he's going to be, you know, whatever, he'll be removed or, you know. But that's why I laugh every time that everybody keeps saying, you know, this, and this, and Adam Aaron. He had a lawyer sitting right there. It's been over a month and a half since that last earnings call. And nobody from the Department of Justice, the SEC, the FBI, anybody, or any news outlet has come out to say Adam Aaron was wrong and provided false information. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're exactly right. When he came out and said 90%, is that what you're talking about?
Well, again,
The 90% retail, is that what you're talking about?
yeah, yes, exactly.
So I remember that exactly because Lou came out after complaining about it, and I was just sitting there thinking, like, you know, Lou's been caught lying. Adam Aaron's got an attorney sitting there in the room with him. I think I'm going to believe the guy with the attorney. So 90% was wrote down for me as a fact because, I mean, you know how much trouble he'd get into if he was lying, and he didn't get in trouble. So it to me, it's verified.
Exactly.
So the Olf,
again, it's just in case that people start talking about it or whatnot. And, you know, yeah, it wasn't her husband that bought different stocks. It was the company that he used to buy the stocks. It sucks. I don't like it. But, again, that's the facts. So, you know, again, it just creates a major conflict of interest, which is that becomes the biggest problem. And like I said, and I'll say it again, 70% of the people that were polled that did not want politicians were told no, but she sat right up there and said, no, we're going to do it anyway. So I don't understand how you say that you're for the people, you're looking to build back better, you want to make changes, you want to get rid of the 1%, you want to have fair transparency throughout everything that you're doing. That's nonsense. You work for us. That's how it's supposed to be, and it's not.
Well, if you notice,
asking you a question. I'm sorry, in the chat. When they're asking who's over the president.
well, hold on. Let me touch back up on that because I wasn't finished yet. So here's what I look at, and it has everything to do with intentions. Those people that work in the government, if you notice, they're always trying to skate around the Constitution. Like, if you were an honest person, you wouldn't be trying to bend the rules and skate around the Constitution. You just do the right thing to begin with. So there's no honor in trying to skate around the rules. I get it. You know, in business, you want to try to bend the rules, but being in government should not be considered business because they should be just doing the right thing to begin with. And like I said, I've seen so many times they're always trying to, like, I mean, look, every constitutional thing that we have, they've already tried to find a way to get around the Constitution and take away our rights. Now, that to me is bad intentions. And in my opinion, they should all be removed. But if you notice, they're also not putting their name on their votes. Remember when they were doing them call-in votes where one person would go in and say 20 people voted, and then you couldn't tell which 20 people? They were doing that to mask their votes so you couldn't tell who needed voted out. And that was dirty too. Like, there should be a vote count so then you can go and find out exactly each person that voted in shady stuff. And then it's up to that state to go remove that person because they don't agree with it. And that's just my opinion though. I mean, I don't trust the government at all. If they're trying too hard to hide who's doing bad voting, then they should all be gone. They've been there too long anyways.
So the Orv says, y'all Americans are funny. No matter left or right, politicians are corrupt. And that is the statement. And that is 100% accurate, right? It doesn't matter if it's on the left or the right. They work together. They're a uniparty is what we call them, right? They don't have our best interests at heart. They don't care about what the American people think.
What we need is a new party called the Patriot Party, something that has nothing to do with the government. It's for the people, period, and that's it. We don't need blue, red, left, right. We need best for the country only. it would be kind of nice to see like retired business like people to get like Donald Trump or someone like that that knew how to run a business, got in there and actually did what was best for the country. Yeah, they're not going to be very nice when they get in there because that, I mean, you don't make a successful business by being completely a nice guy. And business is shrewd, but we kind of need someone like that on our side and not against us. And I mean, you look at the mess that we have in there now. I mean, they could have done something with the stock market. They're not. Nothing. There's no bills going in saying fix this market. This looks horrible. But midterms are going to show up. Let's watch them squirm when they need them votes.
Okay, here's one. This is from Algo. It says, Froggy, I keep hearing vote for those that will make a difference. Vote out corruption, inside trading officials. Vote for people who can really make the change. They said, we could think you're voting in the right person, and they do just the same as the previous. They say anything for votes. Who can you truly trust?
Well, the problem is we're voting in people that's been in politics for so long that they became a part of the establishment. And, like, you kind of need new people going in there so that when they get in there, they're not comfortable. So it's just like when you start a new job, your focus is working on that job. Once you're there for a while, you start changing your focus. And that's what they're doing. They've been in there so long, their focus isn't to be doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're doing everything also that comes with like the perks of the job. And that's why there should be a term limit. They should maybe 1 term, maybe 2. That's it. Get them out of there. Because once they get comfortable, they know how to play the system, trick people into voting for them. They basically do all kinds of like little programs and stuff to go and basically buy votes. And that's how they stay in there. Doesn't mean that they're good. They just know how to play the game.
Is there a question?
What's going on, Rob? How you doing, man?
What's up, Rob? BB is right. Money and power. And that's pretty much why we haven't squeezed yet, because they don't want to give up their money or their power. And I think that's what Johnwicksnipin was trying to get across in his video. I'm not saying that what he said is right, but I feel the same way he does, that there's so much corruption and so much money that they don't want to lose, that they're playing the game, right? So how long is it going to take before it squeezes? I think he was just trying to shake the tree, but, he said what he said.
Make sure you guys hit that like button too while you got a chance. Let's say you got 42 likes, 103 people in here. Please hit that like button. There's the poll that popped up. 73% of the people want us to cover 1348, the trading strat, so you can learn it. So definitely was a plan. I was also thinking about bringing Johnwicksnipin on just to talk about what he's talking about, so we can get more informed on what he's doing. Because like I said, when I covered it the first time, I was under the impression that he just like flipped out and went nuts, and that wasn't the case. I think he's more complaining about the issues at hand, and would like to give him a chance to speak. And then, we'll obviously play pros and cons on everything. Right. I'm not even sure if that's the best way to call it, pros and cons, but
we're all complaining about the same issues, right?
Yeah, we all had the same issues. It's still market manipulation, market maker, SEC, and other stuff. And that's what he's doing. It looks like he's targeting the problems. And it looks like he just wanted people to start talking about it. And it worked. So sometimes you got to, I guess, say something wild and crazy and get people buzzing and talking about it to get the topic brought up. And that was what he appeared to be doing. So it seemed like it worked.
Yeah. And he's not wrong with what he's saying. I mean, I still think it's going to squeeze. I don't agree with that, but I think that agenda, what he was saying is 100% right. Right? I mean, with everything going on, how long is it going to take for it to squeeze? When is it going to squeeze? We don't know. That's the whole thing. It can take forever. I hope not, but it can. They can drag this out as long as they can keep their corruption going. And that's all he was saying. I'm pretty confident that's what he was saying.
Yeah. Rob says here, just an opinion, AMC runs with the market until it won't, which is exactly what I'm thinking. When the SPY drops down, at some point you're not going to see a 1-for-1 drop, or even I think SPY runs at a 4-for-1 off of SPY. Did I say that right? AMC runs at a 4-for-1 off of SPY. So if SPY drops 1%, AMC goes 4%. That's been changing over time, but at some point you're going to see SPY drop 10%, and AMC will only drop 10 too. So when you see something like that, you're going to know divergence is happening. And then if SPY drops another 10 and AMC breaks even, you know the next move, it's going to be upward. So Rob's probably looking at it the same way I am. At some point, we pull away from the market. He says he's not afraid. None of you should be either. When this market tanks, you have to understand it doesn't really hurt us. It hurts them more because they have to pull the price down on our stock to offset things. And at some point, they won't be able to afford to.
Hi, Froggy. Enjoy your space calls. And I wanted to touch base a little bit on, you bring up politics, and you're definitely not a politician if you're for Trump. That guy's done nothing good when he was in business. Businessman can't run this country. He certainly couldn't. I totally disagree with that. I work in construction. Guy doesn't pay his bills. He's a crap businessman. He's all about himself. And as far as for our stocks, we're all bag holders after today, but I'm going to ride it out, and hopefully we go to the moon. That's all I got for you.
Well, regardless of who's in there for politics, it should be someone that's actually trying to do a job for us. And I think a business person would make more sense than a politician. I'm not saying he was absolutely the best pick for it, but it's just the idea. If the country is a business, it should be ran like a business. When you have politicians in there just giving away money for votes, you end up with corruption like what you have right now. So that's what they're doing, is they're signing in laws and stuff like that that benefit like medical and pharma, and then they get kickback from doing their job. It's a perk. And then they turn around and take that money and they run for office again, and they rinse and repeat the cycle. So it's like one hand washes the other, and we're just now catching on that they've been washing each other's hands for a long time. So
I just got one question though, because I mean, I'm not saying I'm a Trump supporter or anything, but I mean, are we any better off today with Joe Biden than we were 2 years ago with Trump? I don't think so. So he must have been doing something right.
now there's always going to be a negative side of pretty much any politician, because they do play party favorite kind of stuff. And I really don't think there should be parties. I think it should just be United States, and I don't know who said that thing. It's not blue states, red states, it's United States. That was a really good saying, because it should be the country first and not your party. But none of them really believe that. They say that, but they don't believe that. They still play their party, and it's messed up.
I agree with that. Hey, one last point. If we have the resources, if we can pull together and do the due diligence on any ticker, then we should be able to do the same for these politicians. We vote them all out. We set the terms. They don't.
And how do we end up with Joe Biden then? Answer me that. How do we end up with Joe Biden then? How did we end up with Joe Biden then? How did we end up with Joe Biden then? Answer me that question.
Because he was a lot better than what the guy that was in there. That's why we needed a change, and he was the only person that could beat him.
I don't think so. I think things were much better 2 years ago. I think things were much better 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago we were much better off than we are today. That's a fact.
And we can thank Obama for that. It doesn't happen overnight. It does not happen overnight.
Well, it doesn't matter who's in office at this point. Inflation was going to hurt the country, period. And the debate should be, was it necessary? I don't think it was necessary to put in $19 trillion in 2 years. I mean, it's raising the cost of living up ridiculously. And it wouldn't matter who would be in office. That kind of money printing would hurt even like the most perfect candidate too. So, and I think that's a Fed problem, to be honest, because that's who's putting the money in there.
But that makes a lot of sense. Right. Stimulus money really hurt us. But how about a pay raise? How about the people that need the help? Well, he tried to get a minimum wage moved up. What the Republicans do? They didn't help. So then they give us another stimulus check. I mean, give the people get a fair pay. I mean, we're going backwards.
Okay, so we understand.
What happens to milk when we give people raises? What happens to a gallon of milk when we give people raises? What happens to the price of a 2x4 when we give people raises? I mean, it's fact. You raise the rate, they're just gonna raise the prices. It's common sense.
Well, the reason why the wages have to go up is because the inflation was going up. Everything is supposed to inflate at the same time, and it doesn't. So the people don't feel the inflation in a beneficial way. They only feel it in a negative way. And that's part of the problem. And I mean, you could look at the employer and say, hey, pay us more, but a lot of people don't do that. They point at the politician and say, look, this is your fault. But the employers over there setting record profits. Why aren't the employees getting record wages? I mean, you got to kind of look at the employer too. They're being greedy at this point. I mean, look at like Home Depot. They're charging like 10x on wood. That's ridiculous. Then they set out record profits, and nobody questions why the employees are still making the same. I mean, it's obvious what it is. It's price gouging, and they should all be ashamed. We were just talking today at work. Ham prices. They were normally $1 a pound for ham. Easter comes rolling by. It's $8 a pound. Well, why all of a sudden is the price spiking up? We got a shortage of ham? Nope. They just wanted to charge more. And I'm just like, nobody questions it. They just like go buy it and complain about it. And we should start realizing it's the businesses that are hurting the people too. They're price gouging us. Like, look at Big Pharma. They've been doing that forever. I mean, there's so many things out there. Price of gas.
I just agree with that. Allie, go.
But we're not looking at we're looking at the symptoms of the problem. Like, I'm not saying we didn't need stimulus checks. I mean, there's probably people that needed it. But I mean, the extra $600 a week for unemployment didn't really make any sense. And I've seen a lot of people basically wanting to quit their job just so they can collect that stimulus check or that stimulus or pandemic money that came in with the unemployment. So there was incentive not to work. And when you provide incentive not to work, then you're going to have a high unemployment. So then they added more stimulus because they had high unemployment. I'm like, wait, you're the cause of the problem. Then you turn around and say, because we have high unemployment, we need to add more money. And then when you add more money, it's like you're not fixing the problem. And they knew what they were doing. You can't tell me that they're that stupid. They had no clue what they were doing. But that's part of the problem is a lot of people are looking at the little symptoms, and you got to look at the people that were doing it did it on purpose, bad intentions. The one you want to comment on that? I know you know about this stuff.
Well, somebody mentioned, sorry, the wife called me, but the person that would be higher than the president would be Congress. It technically should be the people of the country, but we know how that's going to roll out. But it would be Congress. They're the ones that could override the president. And everybody's entitled to their opinion. I like the fact there, but the guy that says that Trump wasn't very good. Give me 3 things that's happening right now in this country that Joe Biden has done for the positivity of our country. I'll wait patiently. Give me 1.
Don't hold your breath.
You just had 200 and something thousand migrants that just came into our country last month alone. We can't even feed what we have now. You have taxes. I mean, the inflation rate. You know, whether, again, you don't like Trump, that's fine. But give me 3 things that Biden has done to help our country right now.
Well, he's already been there 2 years, and I'm not happy either. I'm not saying Joe Biden's the answer. I'm saying that he should be out. All these old guys should be out. They should all be out. I've got no quarrels with that. I'm just saying Trump. I'm from Chicago. Trump built a building here, and he just fucked plenty of people. The guy is just garbage. And for you to say a businessman should run this country, that's our first taste of a businessman running this country. And we know he made deals behind the scenes. They all do. I get that. But we got to vote them all out. We want change, we vote them out. If we can do due diligence on the ticker, then we should be able to just do that with every politician out there. Nancy Pelosi, all of them. I'm not blue or red. I'm fucking pissed off. And what do? Nothing.
Okay, so who do we put in for the next president? Matthew Cawthorn?
When you go to make business deals, okay, and that you've been doing that with billion-dollar business deals pretty much most of all your life, you cannot have personal emotions behind it. So as soon as Trump came in, it didn't bow down to the left or to the right. You know, he kept his swagger. That's exactly who he is, straight to the point. I'm rash. That's it. Okay, you notice every single time that he spoke to China, Russia, North Korea, there was no nonsense coming back or any threats about what was going to wind up happening, and you didn't have Russia showing a new missile that was going to be launched in case anybody wants to get involved in this Ukraine crap. Trump, right off the bat, wouldn't have any of that shit. Sorry, Diva, don't mean to curse. And none of this would be going on right now. But unfortunately, you have the weak left and a weak man leading this country, and every other leader sees it and they're taking advantage of it. We are being taken advantage of as a whole as the country. And the person that's behind him goes over to talk to people and can't even answer a question and yields to somebody else to help her get the answers. So basically, what the left did was they sacrificed the sanctity of our country just to get one person out because you hated his guts. But that man did more than what this idiot is trying to do right now. You could keep him in office for another 500 years and it wouldn't make a difference. We are going down. Trump would have put an end to this crap that's happening right now, especially within the stock market. Guaranteed this wouldn't be going on because he would have drained the swamp, which is what he wanted to do, which is one of the reasons why Pelosi wanted him out and to make sure he never had the opportunity to run again. I get it. Trump, look, Trump can be a guy, there's a lot of things that he's said and he's done that I don't agree with. However, at the end of the day, he puts America first. Joe Biden does not put America first.
Trump was about to have us killed.
Right.
Point blank. He was about to have us killed by the bullshit he was ranting about. He was a blatant liar. He even went against the people who supported him. So don't put Trump on the good side. Don't ever. He was a part of the reason why my brother is dead.
What did he do? What did he do?
He ignored COVID.
For COVID?
And yes, he ignored the situation in COVID. He knew about it way before it.
And you don't think any Democrat?
Monster on
and you don't think a Democrat? There was no Democrat that knew about that?
Get out of here with this Trump. Biden is in office supposedly to undo everything Trump did.
So what has he done that's been positive for our country? Give me 3 things. Give me one.
He trying to help the students with student loans. He tried to undo.
Oh, okay, right. So I'm supposed to take on your debt. Great. So I got to take on your debt and increase my taxes.
Yeah, that's doesn't make any sense. I mean, I get it. She's upset about the COVID thing, but that wasn't Trump's fault. And there's other parts of the government that actually are supposed to look at all that stuff. I mean, I don't know.
My apologies for me to get heated, but still waiting. If anybody could give me 3 things that Biden has done that's been good, and please give me a break about the student loans. You created that problem on your own. You knew going in before you were going to take that class of what you were doing and how much money this was going to cost you. It's not my fault that you get that amount of money and that you can't get that job to repay your loans. Do not put that on the American people. Sorry,
I'd rather I'd rather help people out that are, okay, struggling. They can't find work. Sure, maybe they took they got a degree that's not helping them, but I'd rather do that, help them, than bail out all these hedge funds. Always bailing people out. Trillions of dollars. That's socialism in another form. Trading out the people that fail. They
You
fail.
want to help student loans?
And they take our money. Our money. So it's a double whammy for us. So I'd rather help out my son, my brother, my sister.
I'd rather do the same thing than you know what you do? You don't allow 220,000 immigrants to come in your country for 1 month.
Hey, but
you don't give another country more money.
It's a melting pot of the world.
Exactly.
I'm an immigrant, okay? We push forward. We move forward, and we try to better our lives. We don't need some guy telling us that just stirring the pot.
How can we help other people when we can't even help ourselves?
I had to remove him because he was upset, and it's not about.
That's the simple question. How can you help somebody else when we can't even help ourselves?
No,
I don't mind helping other people out, but when I'm at work, and I have 15 homeless people sleeping underneath the bridge, and if you think I'm BSing you, I will send the pictures. The cops actually had to take one person out because she died. She was killed in the middle of the night. Somebody beat the crap out of her and left her for dead. I will take the pictures and show you Shantytown right behind where we work. We can't help our own, but yet we're going to open our borders to help everybody else out. I don't have a problem with immigrants. I don't have a problem with you coming to this country. By all means, come and do what you need to do. Do it the right way. But don't sit here and tell me that student loans is a better thing to help and help immigrants come into our country right now when we have Americans that don't even have enough money to get something to eat. Nonsense. Come on, man. Where's your vision? Again, still, give me.
I just want to say right now
that's been great for our country.
The Democrats have the presidency, the Senate, and the Congress right now, and they're in control of the Fed, and they're right now pumping Fed money into the stock market to prevent it from collapsing. That's what they do.
You know, it's just a thing, but he got upset. He was getting upset, and that was just too much to be doing today. But we're all here to be. We're all in this movement together. So he got upset. So, and this is Froggy's show. This is Froggy's show. This is his show, and we don't do the mess. We don't do the mess. We speak the fact.
All right.
So DJ has a question. I guess he wants.
No, well, hold on a second. I just put a poll up there because, like, to me, it doesn't matter who likes Trump or Biden more. I want people to see the visual. So I put a poll up there because there's a misconception that there's more Biden supporters than Trump supporters. The poll went up. You'll see people's personal choice, but you won't know what they voted for. And when the poll pops up, there's only 34 votes. You'll see like a visual of how many people actually support one versus the other. And because obviously we've been lied to about everything. I mean, so how do we know what's true, what's not? I mean, the media is lying to us about the stock market. They lied to us about the government. They lied to us about the COVID and everything else. And it makes it tough because like all the agencies that we pay for are working against us, and it's horrible. I did see Maz showed up. I'm pretty sure he'd probably love to talk about this stuff. It's like, I think that's right up his alley. But Maz, you're welcome to come in if you want me to send you an invite.
But I just want to say, like, I'm not right now. We have the Democrats control everything. They control the presidency, the Senate, and the Congress. Okay, they're in control of the Fed right now. The Fed pumps money into the stock market to prevent it from collapsing because we're on the verge of a collapse. Look at the SPY today. I mean, I'm not singling people out because of that. That's not what I'm doing. It's obvious. It's just obvious. That's all I'm trying to say.
They're all guilty. They're all politicians. They're all crooked.
No, I agree. Look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. So everybody doesn't think that I'm just some Looney Tune. Marjorie Taylor Greene, for anybody who doesn't know, before we went into Ukraine, the war with Ukraine and all that, she bought into Lockheed Martin. Why is that? Because they could get away with it. Insider trading. It's both parties. It's not one, it's not the other. They work together against the American people. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, and they use mainstream media to keep the country divided. That's what it comes down to at the end. That's it.
Let's you wait one moment because JD been waiting for a long before you. So just one moment. I'm just trying to go in order. JD, you have a question for Mediocre Trader? Go ahead.
Hey, you know, I noticed the one, you know, I respect all the apes of the community, but you always talk bad about immigrants. Well, they didn't receive no handouts. You know, I know a few of them that were working through the whole pandemic, while many of us were on unemployment, getting food stamps and all type of stuff, you know. They weren't getting no free handouts.
Well,
I don't say anything about a free handout. And as far as an immigrant, I'm an immigrant. We're all immigrants. So if I look at it this way, I have no problem with anybody coming into the country. I have a problem with people coming into the country illegally. Just like if you illegally tried to go to live in France or Russia or China, they'd have a problem with it. Do it the right way, as the way it should be done. The people that get in here and skate around for free are screwing over the ones that are actually taking the time and doing it the right way to become a natural citizen. That's what I'm saying. But as far as like anything else goes, I'm happy to have everybody here. That's why this country is so great. But
you know, let me cut you off real quick. I gotta hang up after this. In 2008, I was a foreman for a landscaping company, and we were trying to get those homeless in the Chicago area to come get a job working with the company so they couldn't get on their feet. And none of them even want to take an application to get a job. So how can you help them out when they don't want to help out themselves? You know,
I agree.
That part.
You can't. I agree with you 100%. It's happening right now. You have real Americans here that don't even want to have a job. That's why people are getting bonuses.
So we need to stop giving them money. That's the point. We need to stop giving those people money, right? We give them free money so they don't have to do anything.
No,
you know, the lady of the company sent us to go and ask everybody to come and apply to the company because she want to help out ex-convicts, homeless. She wanted to help out all the Americans before she would start sending applications to other countries to send migrants to work over here. She wanted to focus on all the Americans to have a job, to do something with them, but nobody wanted to come even work or apply for a job.
Yeah, listen, this is the greatest country in the world, and if anybody wants to come live here, by all means, you're welcome to it.
100%.
Now this might sound like a conflict of the topic here, but I don't think immigrants is actually the problem. I think we should be able to shut it off and stop the flow of incoming, and then manage what we have, because like the immigrants that come over, they want a better life for themselves. That's why they came here. That's why they're still flocking here. But we should be able to have a wall and say, look, we're at max capacity. It's like a party. We're for right now, let's shut it off. And like I said, it's not the immigrants that's the problem. It's the open border that's the problem, because that's where
migrants. That's the word I'm using. Migrants that came 220,000 right now in 1 month. And if this continues at the rate that it's going to become a massive problem for everybody.
Yeah, we want to give them all each $450,000. I did. Well, I don't know if the news media is telling the truth, but I did read that. We wanted to give each person, Joe Biden wanted to give each one $450,000.
Okay, before you jump, JD, because I agree with you, there's lots of sick people on the streets. There's lots of sick veterans on the streets that need to be off of the streets, and they need to be put in a place where they can get mental health, because our mental health went away. We used to do it the wrong way. The topic I wanted to discuss before the other guy jumped out of here, okay, the APE movement and the AMC and the GME movement, the one thing that we have is you put everything else aside. And we've started splitting ourselves into groups, and then somebody comes in and they're taking this side. Well, you're offending me with your side on that. That's not about this topic. So definitely I'm going to fight back with you because I disagree with your point of view on that. Doesn't matter which side it is. Leave that shit out. I'm sorry, Diva. Leave that out of this conversation This is one topic. We fix one thing. Doesn't matter what we disagree on the other sides. We fix one thing. Then if we can find one more thing, we go fix that. After that, we want to split up, that's fine. But if this movement's going to stick together, it's going to be because we don't let ourselves get broke into 1,000 little groups that want to fight with each other.
Now, now, what if politics is designed to divide and conquer? That's why there's a left, right, blue, and red. What if that's designed to make people like pit them against each other so they can divide us up so they can conquer us easier? Because they're all probably working together.
That is their goal.
I mean, you think about it, they have so many different like breakdowns of each category, and it should be one people, not like red, blue, left, right, like all this garbage that they act like is important. It should be what's best for the country, no matter where you sit anywhere. And
every individual has the exact same rights. Nobody gets to splinter off into groups and have their own special little group rights.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of the Republican, Democrat, left, right, like center. I mean, they can classify it for what it is. I have no idea where I stand, to be honest. I don't like them all, so that's probably its own category.
Exactly.
They probably count me as like anti-government or something, which, I mean, I'll call shenanigans.
They're all corrupt. Look at what's going on. That's the whole point. That's what we're trying to say is they're all corrupt. It's not one party or the other. It's both. They work together against the American people. That's what we need to prevent. We need to stop that. That's what the conversation is really about. And we can prove it just by the stock market and how much control the stock market has over our government and the world for that matter.
And I don't think one person can say that we didn't have this much manipulation when Trump was in office. We can always say politics doesn't matter, government doesn't matter. Government has everything to do with corruption and the reason why people are being pretty much not having what they're supposed to have in a financial sense.
Yeah, I learned from someone that this has been good corrections going on for decades and decades. So we can, I don't know, I just live my life, that's all. It's been going on forever, and Froggy taught me that. I learned that it's been going on forever, and he showed me, you'd be surprised. It's been going on a long time, before Biden, before Trump, before Bill Clinton. It's been going on a long time, before, back there in Kennedy's time, back there in Nixon time. This has been going on back there in Roosevelt time. This has been going on a long time. So we just like to light now that we're in this movement. That's what's happening.
Well, like I'll admit one of my flaws was when Bill Clinton came in the picture, I actually supported him. And like at the time I thought I was Republican and he was clearly Democrat. Once I figured out what he was about, I realized that was a bad choice. And that's how easily tricked you can be in politics by picking the wrong person, because he pretty much sold us out. And they wanted to focus on Monica Lewinsky, and that wasn't even the problem. That was a distraction. Like,
look at what they
sold our military secrets to China. How do you think they got our missile secrets? Good old Bill Clinton sold them hundreds of millions of dollars. And there's much more stuff on top of it. And it's like, why are you selling our top secret stuff over there? Isn't that a crime? But he never got in trouble. He got impeached for, Monica Lewinsky. I'm like, that's a slap on the wrist. And that's when I realized something wasn't right.
Look at John F. Kennedy. John F. Kennedy would be a centrist today. I mean, look at what he stood for. All of us can respect John F. Kennedy and what he was trying to do. I don't know.
It's about the Watergate back in Nixon time. I'm just saying, I'm not sure. All I'm saying is that this corruption's been in there a long time. I'm not taking sides anyone. I'm just saying I learned that this has been in there a long time. And, we want to get out. I just seen Tuesday Tank said, he said DOJ is us. It's us. It should be us. It shouldn't be the DOJ. It's us that should make the difference in the change if we want to make a difference in the change. I know everybody do things differently, but I believe in the power of prayer. That's just me.
Well, the one thing about Bill Clinton, he kind of changed the way the world was going to see libertarianism. And he used something, and again, go read up on it. It's pretty interesting. It's called the third way. And basically, you kind of undermine the opposition by borrowing policies from it in an effort to seize the middle and then achieve political dominance. So he was very good at doing that. It's called the third way. And, you know, kudos to him. He did it. And he was very good at doing it. And a lot of people just, you know, again, you just kind of get sucked right along with it. There's one thing about Trump that really bothered me was when he had the second debate, the one that actually lasted more than a couple minutes before it got shut off, when Biden said to him, well, look, you know, you got a tax break. You did all this, you got blah, 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 blah. And he turned around and he said, well, you know what? I did that because the previous president, the guy that you were with, created the loopholes for me to use. At that point, Trump, you know what? Before Trump did that, he should have said right off the bat, I'm not going to do this. This is a BS loophole. This needs to get changed. This is how the rich keep getting by. I would have given him a lot more credit if he would have stood there and said, that's the reason why I didn't do it. He should not have used those cheap loopholes that were created to help the rich. And those were in place by President Obama. I voted for Obama. I was actually proud to be an American that day that he walked down, what is that, it's a street. Anyway, after he was inaugurated. I actually was like, I'm proud. We can now finally, hopefully, start to like heal the racism shit stuff that's in our country and start to heal here. We now have a great leader. And unfortunately, I don't think it was him. It's the rest of the politicians that had his hands tied. And it's just like all of them. This is why term limits need to be like you know, they have to be enforced. I don't need an 84-year-old person in Congress right now who's so out of touch with reality. I'm sorry, Feinstein, you need to go. Go relax and enjoy the rest of your life. And there's a lot more. I mean, all of them. Pelosi, all of them. Get out. Goodbye. Schumer, SHIB, goodbye. Leave. Let someone else, the younger groups, come in and do it. I don't know why they're so hell-bent on making sure that they stay there.
The one, just to be fair, don't leave out Mitch McConnell. He can go too.
Yeah.
Believe me.
Yes, he can drive the car. Or you know what? I'll drive. He can sit in the front seat.
Exactly. You know,
they're all left side, right side. They're all bad. All
agreed.
Of them. And they only care about one thing: themselves.
And if you look at John F. Kennedy, I just want to say one more thing about John F. Kennedy. The reason why he's not with us today is because he was against corruption. Go look it up. Whether who you believe killed him or not, he was 100% against corruption. And that's why.
He had he like, depending on how long he would have gone, but both ways, but you're absolutely right. He was fighting against it. And I believe he was killed because of that.
I believe that too.
They're power hungry. They're stuck in the middle. Narcissists, all of them. Every single one of them. Thank you, Apollo. Every one of them.
Now, here's one problem that I did notice that is hurting us to this day. Under Clinton, that Glass-Steagall Act got repealed, and that's what forced the banks to hold your money. When they were allowed to spend all your money down to 10%, they probably gave it to hedge funds, market makers, and whatever. So it basically fed Wall Street. So they got huge. And now they're fighting back against us with our own money. And they should never have been that big in the first place. So that's part of the problem. We probably need the Glass-Steagall Act. But the problem is when you remove a barrier, it's very hard to put things back. It's one of them, the genie got out of the bottle and you can't put them back in. Because in order to put Glass-Steagall back into place, the banks have to go and recall like 40% of the money that they've already given out and then put it back in the vault where it belongs because it's the people's money, and then put that act back up there because I think it's supposed to be 50%. Right now they're at like 10, and that's a problem. And that probably explains why money should be backed by crypto, because then they can't go and do shenanigans with your money. So yeah, the government's going to track and trace you too, but it's going to also stop the banks from lending out your money multiple times. And that probably needs to happen.
Remember George Bush Jr.?
Yeah, that goofball.
Yeah. Okay.
W.
Because he was the leader, I'm going to blame him for the housing crisis and everything that happened. He should have had more control over it. Everything just spiraled and got out of control.
No, he was a major
He
issue.
had
Yeah,
the nerve to stand there with Obama and talk about COVID and how they want to help this country and what they want to do. After you practically almost bankrupted and the millions and billions of dollars that was lost because of what happened in 2007 and 2008. You were the leader of that. So, dude, the last place you should be seen is on TV with anybody else. He's one of the biggest frauds out there. Ridiculous.
Bush Jr.?
Crooked.
Yeah, the Bush family is a crime syndicate. So
all of them.
100%.
Although
So anybody?
this actually, I was hoping that would actually have a shot because he looks like he would do something. I don't remember which one it was. I don't think it was Ted.
Jeb.
What? Jeb, whatever one's in Texas.
Yeah, but
I think
he was goofy
gone.
too. Like the people that I would prefer would be somebody that actually has experience and like knowledge of stuff. And Jeb, I mean, I don't know. I had my doubts on him in the first place, and Junior was horrible. Like I don't know. I honestly think that somebody's picking our presidents for us and saying, here's your votes. You get A or B. And we're like, we don't like neither. And they're like, you have to pick one. We're like, we don't like either. And they're like,
Well, that's what the Republican National Convention and the Democrat National Convention is, that they get to choose for us, basically.
Let's be real. I'm nowhere near president, nowhere near. But let's be real. I like to say this. You got those big people like Oprah, P. Diddy, all those kind of big people saying, it's what they say. It's not me saying, people. They always say, let's get somebody black in office because they're going to help us. Let's get a Democrat in office because they're going to help the black people. And truly, I don't believe in that. I believe in who's right for the job. I don't go off of black, white, purple, green. I go, who is right for the job? But then you have all those influencers that do influence the black community, the Mexican community, the Hispanic community. They influence them to go vote for Democrats and vote for people that are more of the color, that take care of the colored people. That's all I want to say.
David, let me ask you.
I have a question for you.
You had to in the Democratic when they were doing Tulsi Gabbard was up there. She wiped the floor with Harris, back and forth.
I'm not a Democrat. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
Okay, well, listen again. But if you watched it, there's a video of it. She wiped the floor with Harris. How come the Democrat Party did not choose her to run with Biden? I would love to see Tulsi Gabbard run with Trump or run with a Republican. She's not hard left. She's not hard right. She's somewhere kind of like in the middle where she can go both ways or sway, whatever.
And she's a Democrat.
An incredible person, man. I mean, she's strong. She's tough. She's got great policies. Former veteran. But again, I have no idea why the DNC turned their back on her and then went with somebody who decided to create some. And again, you know why the reason why they went with Harris.
No, I just want to say
it's about choosing what.
I just want to bring up something else before we lose this conversation about like Larry Elder was running in California for governor, okay, and he got beaten out by Gavin Newsom. All right, if that was the case, why weren't they pushing for Larry Elder to win? Right? He cares about people, no? He's a person of color.
Yeah. Okay. No.
I mean, that's all I was bringing up.
I know Bobby can hear. I think Bobby probably can understand what I'm saying, but I don't like how they do that. How they target the black community, the Spanish community. I don't like how they go at that, and they have their minds. They have these big influencers, saying vote for this because they don't help you because we're black. What does that have to do with anything? That's what. So I'm just saying I'm just giving you a scenario of why people think like that and why it happens like that. They do target, the black community, and they go, we got to get more Spanish. We get their votes. We got to get. They do that. That's all I'm saying.
Now, see, politics is always a stressful topic of conversation. Like, it's probably the number one cause for people drinking, because it's such a tense debate or even a topic to bring up, because people want to kind of go in on a topic, and it's we should be able to talk about it with a normal tone and understand the problem. But a lot of people, they get so passionate about stuff that there's no chance for an honest debate. And I think it's done on purpose, the way that they do the divide. They create sides, and that causes problems too. Yeah, the chat's definitely blowing up. I can't even keep up with it.
Look at the history of the presidents. More times than not, the president's going to either serve his full term, which may be multiple terms, or he's going to be assassinated. And those are the ones, you look at your history past, the ones who either only did one term or they got assassinated were probably your better presidents. If you did your research on what they were for the people, actually. It doesn't matter what race they were. But, you can go back to Abraham Lincoln, JFK. The ones who are in there longer are the ones actually have your less best interest at heart, if you ask my opinion. And I don't play the race card, so.
No, I'm saying you do hear that. I'm saying, we normally do. I don't play the race card either. I go about what's right. But I'm saying, you normally do see, they say, oh, give the Democrat, they for the black. I'm like, does that matter? Oh, we need to get, everybody, I'm so sure I know you probably seen or heard it, because I hear people say it all the time, like, that doesn't matter to me what you're talking. You just talking smoke to me. But I just see how they target them, and it's not right. Because if you ever look at those big celebrities, when they were looking for the president, goes, come on, we need to get you guys out here. We need Biden out. We need Biden out. We need Biden out. You should have seen how they was driving their limos and all kinds of stuff to get to the polls. And it was just crazy how they were doing it.
Yeah, the ones who are pushing it are part of the 1%, they're part of the problem. So, of course, they're going to be. Oprah is part of the problem, too. So, even though she's black. P. Diddy, all they care about is their pockets. Now, I don't know what they're doing behind the scenes for philanthropy. I'm sure they probably do a lot, but when it's all said and done, I look at a person's heart. And if they're part of the 1%, they're part of the problem. So, that's my opinion on that.
Agree with you 100% right there, bro.
Yep. It's on both sides. That's all I got to say.
Politics is, I don't want to say it's just a heated topic, but it looks like there's a lot of passion within the idea of politics. And I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be the only person thinking this. A lot of people are probably fed up of the government and politics, and that's why there's so much passion. Because look at the chat. I mean, it's blown up. I mean, it's huge. I can't even keep up, and that's all I've been doing is reading. And I mean, if we look at it this way, obviously politics is broken, the government is broken, and we're all right for being upset with politics and the government, because they're the problem. And no matter what we think about it, like the people that have the issue with politics and the government aren't the problem. It's the people that's in politics and government that is the problem. And again, it's you look at how hard it is to unite the ape community because of the divide. We're slowly doing it. Uniting the politics front, I think, I don't even know how to word it. Uniting the people that vote in politics or the public is going to be even harder because there's more passion there. So I thought the stock market was going to be hard to unite people, but I think politics is going to be impossible. Might need alcohol for it.
Lots of alcohol.
I think it's funny when that guy Gary Gensler did that interview where he goes, "No, you paying the politicians." I think that's really brought to light based on that.
I think a lot of people are exactly what you said, Froggy. A lot of people are just upset. Nothing's happening. People are just sick and tired of it, and they just are looking to the wrong people, and then nothing's changing. Yeah. And it's, and again, I'm not saying it has to happen overnight, but there's been some time here where certain things should have been changed and they haven't, and it's just getting worse. And it's sad, man, because we're all suffering, whether you're a Democrat, a Republican, an independent, or whatever you want to call yourself. Every one of us are suffering. We are not the United States of America. We are just America. And that is sad. That really hurts. Because I love this country, and I love everybody that's in this country. I want everybody in this country to succeed. Get what you need to do. But that doesn't happen until we take the first step and push all of our differences aside and become united. That's how change starts. So
and we can't pass the buck on to our kids. We need to deal with it now.
Yeah. But anyway, I want to hog up your whole show here. Sorry.
I'm going to put a poll out there. It's going to be a generic question. It's going to be like, do you love this country? Regardless of what political side you play on, whether you're Republican, Democrat, left, right, up, down. I don't know if there's even an up, down in politics, but they all suck. But vote, do you love this country? And that's why you're so passionate. And this will give you the answer. We're already united and we don't even see it because we're looking at the minor issues and not realizing that we all are here for the same reason, because we care.
You're absolutely right. Froggy, I got to get home. I got to drop food off for the kids and the family. But thank you again for having me. And everybody here, it's a great conversation. It's good that we can all talk about it. And still, at the end of the day, just respect one another. Respect your opinions,
thank
your
you, buddy.
views, your passion for it. That's what this is about. So I'm going to end it with this. Tonight, we're going to have some fun on Ape Radio. We're going to do bingo tonight. Yes, you heard me correctly. Bingo. That'll start about 8. The room will be open around 7:30, Court 8, but we're going to start around 8. So if you do want to play, you're more than welcome to. You want to come out, laugh, have a good time, forget about all the crap that's happened during the day and all the week and all the other nonsense. That's what we're about. Ape Radio, have some fun, and everybody else, if you don't come, have a great weekend. Enjoy. Love life. Remember, you only get it once.
Yeah, have a good night, man. And for everybody that's here, make sure you check out Ape Radio. They'll be back on in about an hour and a half. Good group of guys. Hopefully that bingo game's not a drinking game, because that would be pretty bad. But
well, I got the wife and the kids playing tonight with everybody, so it should be pretty interesting. I don't know if I'm going to get kicked out of the house after this, but it'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming, the one. We'll see you in the next time. So,
yeah, the one. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you too, brother.
Les Red says, be careful, Froggy. Everyone that speaks on the Clintons ends up gone. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I kind of believe that too. If you speak up against the Clintons, you end up getting one of these. FBI, for no reason at all. But
I just want to say too, if you guys look at the unusual whales, it's pretty interesting, right? Like, and the reason why I'm so passionate about all of this is because it is on both sides. And if you go to Unusual Whales and you just look at how many of our congressmen and women beat the S&P 500 last year, percentage-wise, and go look at it. It's on Unusual Whales website. And you'll see why I say it's both parties. It's both. And it's up to us. It's our job to repair that. And that's all I'll say.
Myself says, need a guy that's good at cutting a promo, get the rock. I was actually thinking about making an intro where you smell what the frog is cooking. But we'll see if I can get the music and get it all set up, put it together. It'd be something fun to do. Yeah, I got 34 questions in queue, so that's a lot. And I'm maxed out on my chat log. Like, I can barely keep up right now. So we'll be covering a lot of these comments and questions here shortly, as soon as they get caught up. We'll hit the first one here. Yeah, you want to read that one? I'm going to keep reading, trying to get caught up
Oh,
here.
yeah. Let me switch back to the screen. Do retail get bailouts as some of hedge funds get? No. Number 2. So if hedge funds gets bailout, why retails get screwed? Well, that's a good question. Number 3. Guessing you are doing the job or you are on level 4. I'm not sure. Or on leave. Guessing you are doing the job or you are on leave. Question mark? I don't know.
I'm not sure of that one. And I think 4 was going to be another question, but they didn't get to it.
Yeah, they didn't have enough space.
Yeah, that's right. You're limited on space. Oh, yeah.
Car said Biden shook hands with the air. Oh, my God.
Now, from what I understand, there's a lot of craziness coming out of China, like Shanghai or whatever it is for the lockdowns and stuff. And at this point, I'm not even sure what to believe, what's going on, because our media, they're, I don't know, incompetent at telling us what's really going on. You want to cover this one?
Yeah, hang on. Let me get back to the screen. The market was a mess when Trump was in office. Citadel was still shorting AMC and GME, and why do you think he will make a difference? He didn't do it then. He won't do it if he gets elected again. I never said that he did anything for the market because, in my opinion, he probably didn't do anything for the market because he's, part of that whole deal. I don't have any facts to back that up, but I don't disagree with your statement.
Here's a comment that says, just another AMC ape, Johnwicksnipin trying to get all the apes on YouTube. I'm actually not objective of his idea. I get what he's trying to do, and it makes a lot of sense because, like, instead of people looking outside of YouTube for information, like, we have a community that should be getting the information. We should be communicating better, and that's what he's basically promoting is better communication. And if good information gets out there, it would spread like wildfire. It'd be like a meme. So if there was a Paul Revere, he can go and spread it out to people, and then it would reach another person. It would spread it to more people, and that's what we need. We need that meme-like movement. So when facts come out, they can spread like wildfire. So I do support what he's trying to do. It does make sense. I do want to get him on here so we can talk about it because I think it is kind of a good idea. You want to cover that one too?
Jim Baxter says, we see the corruption in the stock market. What about the corruption in rigged elections? Well, I mean, we're using, let me just say this. There was an election down in Venezuela, which the United States, our government claimed was a fraudulent election down in Venezuela. But then we go and use the same voting machines up here. So I don't know. That's all I have for an answer there. We use the same rigged voting machines they use down there. Is it possible? I really don't know.
Now, I'm not going to point any fingers here, but I pay attention to the details. Some of the details I kind of wish I never paid attention to. Sometimes when it comes to politics, I wish I was kind of stupid and didn't look, think, or listen. But I did hear Joe Biden saying it doesn't matter who votes. It matters who counts the votes. That's almost telling me that it doesn't matter if you're voting for the other side. If the counter says, nope, this is who we're picking, that's who you're getting. I'm not saying that's exactly how it's working out, but that's some scary stuff that he was saying. I don't know if he's just loose lipping it and he's supposed to be keeping it in his brain, but that right there was basically like saying we plan on cheating. It does matter who counts the votes. If they're not honest, you won't get an accurate count.
Exactly.
And that's kind of what happened in this process. We had shady vote counters, and they got caught on film. So the results turned out the way they turned out. and it's kind of unfortunate.
I don't understand why we use voting machines from Venezuela that we know we had a problem with the vote in Venezuela. Doesn't make sense to me.
There's a voting system that was introduced to come into place, and it was going to completely fix this problem. And I can't remember what it's called. It's like Votes or something like that. It's a crypto. And they send you one vote in the form of a crypto to your phone, because most everybody has a cell phone. And if you don't have a cell phone, they can send it to an email or whatever, and you can vote and send it back in. All these coins or tokens or whatever they are, they get registered as an official vote. So there's no middle guy in the middle. It would save them billions of dollars for the voting system. And they wouldn't have to have machines. They can send out these tokens. But for some reason, it got rejected. I think it's because it was a little too honest, too fair, and the government don't play that way. They love to persuade stuff. It's kind of like in football, doesn't it? I mean, the topic of football has already came up. Do you trust the referees? No. So, I mean,
No.
Everything seems to be like that. Every place that has a referee seems like there's a biased thing that's being done. I mean, a buddy of mine at work, he does fantasy basketball, and he said it's easier to go and figure out college than it is professionals. Wonder why that is. I'm not saying that they throw the games, but if you got a referee that's playing favorites, college don't care. There's no incentive to like rig it. But in professional, I mean, there's a lot of sports betting that goes on. Why is he doing way better in college than he is in professionals, and he knows more about professionals than he does college? Doesn't make sense to me. That's some unusual statistics. And it always made sense to me, like college, you can kind of predict who's going to win. You can predict a close game, and it turns out close. Professional, why all of a sudden one team gets blown out for no reason? Styles, maybe. You know, look at the UFC. You got, like, you can predict who might win the fight before it even happens. Granted, the UFC is good at promoting people, but styles do make matchups. But in college, the ranking system stays the same. Occasionally, there's an upset. Professionals, you get ties and upsets all the time. It's almost like there's persuasion in there. But maybe I'm being a conspiracy theorist or something. I'll have to give Casey Sheldon back his tinfoil hat. Let me see here. We got... Yeah, you want to read that one off there?
No violence needed. Just need people to wake up and vote civil servants that love our country and not their bank accounts. Carl Keller. Good job, buddy.
Yep, I'd say that's a fact right there. We don't really need... I mean, people are probably getting ticked off to where it feels like violence is the next step. But just getting informed on voting and voting out the bad people and in new people, I mean, I think that will make a difference. And as long as it's a new person, it doesn't matter. I think it'd be better in the long run. But how do we not know the system's already got new people waiting for us to vote? So that's the problem. We used to vet people back in like the 90s. We don't vet nobody no more. You can have some yahoo that you never heard of come in, and next thing you know, he's getting voted in to Senate or whatever. And then people are like, oh, surprise, he's a politician. That's actually
just like that other Republican that got beat in Georgia. I don't remember what her name is, but she lost in 2020. But she was the same thing. She got caught doing insider trading. They never really got caught because whatever, but you know, there was evidence that she had information prior to a trade that she took when she was in the Senate. I don't remember what her name was. It doesn't really matter, but my point is it's both sides. That's all I'm trying to get across to that.
There's so many good comments here that I hate to miss hardly any of these. There's so, like, everybody understands everything that's going on. And that's the amazing aspect of it. Is there's so much information out there, and I'm seeing it, and it's like, man, that's another good comment, another good comment. I'm up to 34, and I got a whole chat log full. You want to cover that one?
Yeah. Dana Young says, people are always saying, don't bring politics into these AMC sites, but how can you not? The corruption goes all the way to the top, and she's 100% correct. And that's why it ends up getting in here, is because all of it, right? And that's why I keep trying to tell people, look, it's on both sides. It's not one party or the other. It's not. It's just not. It's both, right? Now, I was a Democrat at one time, but I'm not. I'm a centrist now. I'm an American. I care about the country, period. So I'm not a Republican either, because there's people in the Republican Party I want to see removed.
Now I'm gonna put a video out there. This is for everybody to check out. It's completely off topic. It's about Coca-Cola, the company. I think everybody should definitely watch it. I watched it earlier today, and it kind of blew my mind about how crooked everything can be, and we just don't see it because they've been pulling these shenanigans for at least 60 years. But definitely save that video, check it out. It's probably something you really don't want to learn, to be honest, because once you see that there's a lot of I don't know, it's crony capitalism, I think.
Yep. That's a thing for sure.
It just gives you something to look at and realize that, there's a lot that we don't know, and we're frustrated about what's going on today, but look at what they were doing back then. And it gives you an idea of who the Coke company really is and how they got to be where they are. And it becomes more frightening because they're only one company that's in the middle of all this stuff. And there's many of them out there playing the same game. And then you add on banks and hedge funds and dirty politicians and countries, and it just becomes a rat race.
The Mass is awesome. He knows what I'm talking about. Her name was Kelly Loeffler from Georgia. Thanks, Mass.
Yep.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Dude, Massalorian's like a treasure trove of information too. I'd like to work with him here probably this weekend. Hopefully he's around, because I mean, he's all into this stuff too, it's really nice. I was going to stay out of the politics stuff just because of the tension that it brings to the table. But I mean, one way to take away stress is you kind of got to valve it out. Let people express their concerns, anger, let them calm down, and then get back to a level-headed mindset.
I just want people to understand that it's deeper than just our government, right? It's not just our government. I believe, and I'm not, I have no hard facts on this, but I believe that globalism is a thing, that there are rich people that are trying to control the world. Okay. They control our stock market. So if they can do that, they control our government, they control other governments around the world that way to get what they want. Right. And I think that's a thing. I don't have no hard evidence on it, but I'm not I do some investigating. I watch a lot of stuff.
You want to cover this question here?
Hayden says stimulus was garbage. Those PPP loans hurt us more. Business were getting loans they did not need. Oh yeah, and that was under Trump too. And I agree. Right?
Now I got many comments to that, because the PPP loans, it's better than what they were doing with, look at what the Fed's doing right now. They're just handing it to Wall Street basically to prop up the garbage. It actually went to help the businesses, but the businesses should have kicked it back to the people, and they didn't do it.
But to correct what Hayden was saying, hang on one second. The PPP loans wasn't the problem. It was the other loans there. What were they? From the SBA. The SBA loans was what the problem was. PPP loans were going to workers so that they could get time off. Just to get that out there. But what you're referring to is you are correct. The SBA loans. Go ahead, Froggy. Sorry about it. I didn't mean to cut you off.
The stimulus wasn't handed out very fair. You look at it there was I'm not a nurse or nothing like that, but you talk about the most important people were technically, like the nurses and stuff like that were front line. I mean, they were risking their lives for different things and they got paid no extra. Then they were forced to go get a shot or get fired. And that's like slapping them in the face. They should have got like some sort of bonus for what they were doing and they didn't get any credit. Now, the stimulus check went to the wrong people. I get it. There's going to be people that got laid off in the process, but that's what unemployment was there for. Maybe instead of making it 80% of your wage, it should have been 100%, which been a little bit more. But for some reason, that wasn't. I don't know. That was complete mess to begin with. There were some people that weren't even getting their stimulus checks for like 2 months, or not stimulus checks, their unemployment because the system was broken. The PPP loans, I've been up for debate on this, on where they should have given that money. I mean, obviously, you don't want the businesses to fail. I think that's why they brought those out. If businesses would have failed, it would have been harder to start the economy. I think that's why it was done. I'm not sure if I'm in agreement or disagreement on it, but I do know a lot of employers took advantage of it. And
SBA.
Is it SBA?
There was two different loans. The PPP loans, just to be correct, were loans that were given to businesses so that they could pay their employees who had to take time off, right? That's all that was the PPP loan. So those loans were forgivable if they had to do certain things to get those loans forgivable, right? And that was based off of what the business made. The SBA loans were a different story. That's where the problem is. SBA loans was the issue.
Now, some companies out there, when they got these loans, were actually paying their employees a little extra. They gave them a little bonus. A lot of companies didn't do that. They just put it right in their pocket and was like, I'm going to go buy a house. And I seen that across the board over here. I don't know if it was like that everywhere else, but a lot of businesses over here that got these loans, instead of putting it into keeping their employees working 40 hours a week, they turned around and just went out and bought a house, built a house, and basically put like, I can't remember what it was, something Trump on their house. Like they hung up a flag, and I'm like, I get it. It makes sense, but that money should have been used in a better fashion. It should have went to the people in the long run. It's our money to begin with.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure if anybody could have really done anything with the PPP loans. They could have. I don't really know. But I know the SBA loans that big businesses were taking those SBA loans and they shouldn't even have been getting them. You know what I mean? It was mostly to help smaller businesses, which it helped big businesses. Let's be real.
And another issue was the moratoriums that they put out there. It was a temporary fix, but the problem is whenever you don't let people pay for 6 months, they can't afford to pay it back. So those people that didn't have to pay for the 6 months, when it came time to start paying, they owed all these rears. It didn't go away. The problem still was there. So now technically the people that were on unemployment should have had no reason why they couldn't have paid their rent. Some weren't because of the moratorium. And then they got evicted, and that became a problem. Very poor setup all the way around.
I agree.
I mean, what they could have done, and this is one of my thoughts, was they should have gave everybody a card and just directly paid that card instead of making unemployment be the thing, and just put that all in the debt. Gave everybody a certain amount of money per month, so there wasn't this offset, and that money would have went into the system. It would have propped up businesses anyways. So now we got supply chain delays and stuff because not enough stuff is out there floating around, and there should have been enough money floating around, and there wasn't. Where to go?
Hey, Froggy.
Yeah.
I got a couple things I just want to say in brief, and it's good news and bad news. The good news is there is a wealth transfer coming upon us. The bad news is the end game is there's only going to be the poor and there's only going to be a rich. There's not going to be a middle class anymore. So once you decide that you're going to be a part of that wealth transfer, what are you going to do once you get it? Are you going to be a part of the poor, or are you going to be a part of the ones that are prospering? And that's all I got to say.
It does sound like with the increase of the with the way inflation's going, they're trying to wipe out the middle class. And if you look at the agenda 2030 or 2020 or whatever it is, that it was by design to go up to 7%. So they can't even say that they didn't have this planned. They're just using the pandemic as the reason why they increased the inflation. So the fact that they already had it documented should be evidence in itself that this was all planned out. Now, I don't know if the COVID was, but the 7% inflation, and they call it growth, was planned around the world, period. So we should probably pull up that site and start looking at their agenda or plan or whatever it is, and start realizing everything was already called out years in advance. They're just executing it now. So, and that's who we should be mad at, is the people that are willing to take this global plan of screwing over the people. Those should be the people held accountable.
We shouldn't be saving them with our federal tax dollars pumping the markets and stuff like that.
Yeah. Hayden says we're being taken advantage of by politics. We need to change the system. I agree. 100%. Brenda says we file a freaking petition, warn them we won't pay taxes. They got us into this mess, and they're making us pay. That's pretty much it. They're robbing Peter to pay Paul, but they're benefiting because Paul's giving them kickback. So it's like extra dirty.
Brenda says Trump was the first one. Echo said COVID, and China did it. Congress wouldn't listen.
Yeah, which is true. He did kind of mention it, but at that point, the information that was floating around was all, I don't want to say intercepted, but it was definitely somebody was putting out some false information during that time too. They should have done a proper investigation into it. Nothing of what came down actually seemed like it went according to plan. It looked like politics slowed everything down and made it worse for us. People suffer when politics is priority one.
Yeah. They're still trying to use it.
Everyone that's in the chat, will you please like and subscribe? And also, if you haven't already, then would you please like and subscribe to the Mediocre channel as well? Please, everyone that's in the chat, those are in the space calls. If you haven't done it yet, please go down to the YouTube channel and like and subscribe to Froggystyles and Mediocre Trader channel. Appreciate you guys. And those are over in the Mediocre Trader channel, please come over to Froggy's, like and subscribe. Those are in Froggy's channel, please go over to Mediocre Trader channel, like and subscribe. Thank you guys.
Sebastian says, I'm out in California. I've been there since 91. I can tell you that Kamala Harris is an empty suit, just like Dianne Feinstein. I don't like either one of them. Dianne Feinstein is definitely corrupt. Kamala Harris, I don't know enough about her, but the way she acts, I mean, I don't trust it. And I'm pretty sure if you ask the women in chat what they think of Kamala Harris, because women are best judgment of characters, like they get this gut instinct, and like maybe I should do a vote on that one just to see what women think of Kamala Harris. Do they like her or not? And I'm pretty sure that the majority will say no, they don't like her. And like I said, women are very good about getting bad vibes from people. Oh, I already have a poll up there. Whoops. What did I put up there? Should be coming here in a second. It says 76% said that they do love the country. 26% says no. Wonder why the 23% says no. I'm kind of curious on why, but I'm not going to put anybody on the spot there. This poll is for women only, just because I want to get their opinion on it. Do you like Kamala Harris? Because like I said, I think women have a very good gut instinct, and I think that tells you everything right there. Hayden says corporate welfare is killing us. I think it's the handouts that's killing us, because the politicians are taking our money and basically bribing in votes, saying, vote for me, I'll get you something. And that's a problem. Now, if the government wanted to do something right, they could actually take care of the excessive medical costs that people are getting wrecked by. Like, medical insurance is so high and some of the medical bills are so high, they could have fixed that problem. But, you know, they're probably getting kickback from it, so why fix the problem? They're probably donors. Hayden says, newsflash, the homeless was put in the streets by Reagan. That's one thing I haven't really got a chance to look at. So maybe that's one thing we should look at is, did Reagan put people in the streets? He may not have. I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to politics until pretty much Bill Clinton. I knew about Reagan, and I heard about the Reaganomics and stuff like that, but I didn't really pay attention until probably mid-90s. Reagan closed all the mental hospitals. I would think that's a bad thing, because there might be people that need mental help, like all the people in government. Jim Baxter says Biden and the Clinton crime family. I kind of agree to that. I think the Clintons were definitely corrupt. I think they brought their own little mafia clique kind of thing to the government and kind of ran the show there. Biden, I mean, I hear bad things about him, but you got to add in like the Bushes, and there's many other presidents that have basically crime syndicate family kind of things, like little mafia cliques. So I'm sure if we dug down that rabbit hole, it'd go for a ways. Guy got a Glock says mail-in ballots, ballot harvesting. That's definitely a problem. I did hear about, I think it's even over here in this state of PA, where blue counties were actually getting more money so they can go out and wrangle in votes. So kind of shocking that that was even a thing. Massalorian says, when do we bring out the guns? I support American people, no party. I'm right with you, man. I'm ready for the purge. Golly got a Glock says Joe Biden got more votes than Obama with less than half the counties. And won. Yeah, that definitely suspect. Gummy says, you guys are blind. They want you to fight between each other. This is class warfare. The stock market is class warfare too. So you see what they're doing. That's one way, like, they're basically trying to keep us broke. That's why they don't want us to win. If we win, we'd be more free. So, and that's what they're trying to prevent. But he is right. They're trying to keep people fighting amongst each other. And I think they do it on purpose. They're doing a really good job of it because people are convinced to be mad at each other and not the politicians. And that's not the way it should be. Ryan Lawrence says hashtag revolution is needed. I think being more organized, we can't get in trouble for colluding in voting. But for some reason, you can get in trouble for colluding and buying a stock. That doesn't make sense. Hayden says we're just mad at who is in office because we see what's going on now. If we saw the shenanigans under Trump was in office, you'd be mad too. Actually, I seen the shenanigans under Trump too. I do understand inflation was coming under Trump, and it just carried over into a Biden. I do understand that, but $19 trillion printed from Trump to Biden, that's a lot of printed money. And I think it's more of a Fed problem and a government problem because the government wanted to spend the money and the Fed loves printing money. Definitely a problem. You want to cover that one? Oh, your mic's not working.
Oh, that's why. Is it working now?
Yeah.
Oh, I had it up. Oh, no wonder why you didn't hear me. I was reading questions. I'm like, man, he's cutting me off.
I'm going to go grab a drink real quick. I'll be right back.
Go ahead. Brenda says, at Froggy, the presidents can't do anything. It's Congress. And that's somewhat of a true statement. You know, everything has to go through Congress and the Senate, and he gets to sign it or he sends it back. But that's about it on that. Let me see. Michael Anthony says, at least Trump was up at 4 a.m. and kept jobs in America. That guy never slept. Brenda says, 4 million apes stop paying taxes. The SOB may think we are serious. Listen, I do not disagree with you at all. We should have a national whatever strike, whatever you want to call it, national strike, whatever. Because if we stop putting money in, they're going to stop pulling money out for the stock market, right? If you're not putting money into your 401k, the stock market's going to get hit. That's just the truth. The same thing with the government. They're going to get hit. They're not going to have the money to play with.
Hey, Mediocre, haven't you noticed that when you have certain people, they'll get on the big screen and they'll start talking all this BS, then all of a sudden the market starts tanking. You notice that? That's part of the manipulation problem.
Yeah.
You know, I've been looking at that too. I'm like, why is it whenever the market's supposed to tank, they do it like they time it perfect. Like they come in when they need the market to dip or they need a sell-off. They come in and they say the right thing. It's almost like intentional manipulation because if Elon did it, he'd be fine. The Fed comes in and they're like, oh, we're going to tank the market today and we're going to say this. It's almost like it's on purpose. And I'm like, that's very ironic. Their timing is always perfect.
Yep. It happens all the time.
It's almost like they're calling up the market makers saying, hey, or what day do you think I should speak because I'm going to tank the market? And they're like, oh, we're going to be setting up a bull trap Tuesday, so come in on Thursday.
I'm not the only one who thinks this. Are you kidding me?
Puts too, option puts. What do you call it?
This Brandon Papa Goose has a question. Has a question, Papa Goose?
Where's Papa Goose?
He's right underneath you.
I don't see him. I see Brandon.
Hi, Papa Goose.
It says Papa Goose.
Yeah, pull him up. Oh, wait.
I did. It said Brandon Papa Goose.
I got you. Okay. I didn't know Papa Goose was Brandon. Go ahead and give him a mic.
I did. Brandon, if you can.
There he goes. Or wait, where'd he go? There he is.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Am I loud and clear?
Yep, you're clear, man.
Perfect.
Hey, what's going on, bro? I don't have no questions. I just wanted to catch up on how you doing.
Oh, pretty good, man. You're welcome to come in anytime. I didn't know that was you.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, I've been a bit inactive, man. I've been fucking traveling the seas, bro. I'm in Greece right now. Yeah, man, I've been working on a bunch of shit. I'm actually coming back on Monday. I'm going to join you. I was wanting to ask you, I'm going to come on and show you some stuff. I've got a couple of neat little projects, some cool shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're always welcome anytime to come on, because I know you guys got your own community over there, and you're always digging into stuff over there, and it's nice to hear like other thoughts and opinions and ideas and stuff.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah,
I hope
man.
you're enjoying Greece, man. It sounds nice.
Oh, shit. So, what have you doing? Whoa, huh? No? What have you been doing, Froggy? What we're talking about? Let's see if I can join.
We accidentally touched on politics, and like chat blew up real quick, and I was like, whoa, that's a pretty sensitive subject. And like we calmed it back down, but it took a little bit because people are pretty angry about politics and government, which is expected.
I love politics. You know, when talk about politics, I study politics, motherfuckers. Let's go.
Yeah.
Can I do this? No, I'm joking. Yeah, I'm down to chill for the next hour. I've just landed. I just got in the hotel. I mean, it's nice and hot. I'm just gonna chill for the next hour or two. So I'll chill with you, and I'll chime in if I can chime in.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just rattling off a couple more questions because I got like 22 more left to do, and I haven't even hit chat yet because there's still a lot more in there. But once they get caught up, I mean, yeah, anytime you want to come on, man, just let me know.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for I feel welcome. Thank you.
Yep. Anytime, man. Let me see if we got here. Hayden says, keep in mind, Kenny G has gotten highest amount of donations to the GOP. Open your eyes. Kenny G is our enemy. He is funding the GOP for a reason. I think he pays for both sides. They try to make it sound like he only pays for one side. He might, but I think he buys them all. I think he did put a little bit more money in the Republican side, though. That's probably why he's getting slack for it. Brendan says, we're giving our government free money. They print and they keep and they give to bailouts, and we pay that too. Yeah, pretty much that's exactly how it works. Wall Street messes up. We bail out Wall Street. Wall Street pays the government, and the government goes, and it's a vicious cycle. And so you're pretty much right. I think Wall Street is like the middle guy on how to rip off the American people to pay the government. Hayden says that's why we need to concentrate on changing the system. That's definitely a fact, too. President is just a puppet on a string. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Whenever you look at how the system is played, when you vote for a single person that you're going to listen to, it has nothing to do with that if he's actually qualified or anything. He's basically the middle guy that's going to relay the information to you that you trust, and you voted him in. And the rest of the work is done behind the scenes. Most presidents don't do much of anything.
Dana Young, have a good night. Have one for me, too. Please. I need one after today's stream.
Let me see. We got a couple more questions here. You want to cover that?
We need a leader that unites the country is broken. A-Rod says that, and I have to agree with him.
Yeah, I do too.
You know, we need to unite around saving our great country for the children. I mean, that's the bottom line, right? How much longer do we have on this fine earth, you know? I think if we lose freedom in America or any place, it's not going to be good for the world. And I feel like the 1% is trying to control the world.
Oh yeah, that's seems like part of their plan. That's what that Agenda 2020 or 2021 or whatever it was to make a one world government or whatever their claim is.
My question would be to the American people, how does that keep our children and grandchildren free?
Doesn't. Yeah,
Exactly.
debt also enslaves the nation too. And as the government keeps wanting to go further in debt and they don't want to make any money, I mean, they're enslaving the people because we're on the hook. So indirectly, they're forcing us to be in debt. When actually all that money that's owed, it isn't us, it's the government that owes it, but they'll never pay it back because they can't. They're not efficient, and they're worthless. It's kind of like, I don't want to say it's in a bad way, but a banker, or we'll say a hedge fund. Hedge fund provides almost zero benefit, and how they make money is ripping you off. So that's kind of like the government. They don't make any money. They make money by ripping you off. So very inefficient system. I'm pretty sure it wasn't ever designed to be this big either. Carl says Americans have always argued with each other, and it's called free speech. I'm all for free speech as long as something productive comes out of it. There should be respect in free speech too. You want to cover that one?
Hayden says, just like we concentrate on improving trading, we should concentrate on changing how leadership is elected. I don't disagree with that at all. We have problems with the elections for sure. We have problems with, what do they call that when they rearrange the states so that they can win an election? The state, like how they can break the state down into individual parts. I forget what they call it. All right, want me to read that one?
Yeah.
Brenda, hold on. You can't propose on wages. You can't pay for school. You can't. You can't prosper on wages. You can't pay for school. You can't prosper on welfare. They want to keep us poor. Yeah, that is true. I got a bad cataract surgery eye, guys. It sucks. Ant Card says, how stupid is that statement when someone blamed Trump for that COVID? Laugh aloud, it's pandemic. The entire world is affected. I agree. There was not a lot we were going to do at that time.
There's a topic that I didn't think would come up for a while because I didn't know how many people paid attention to that relief fund over there that the Clintons stole. They didn't get prosecuted for any of it, which is sad.
Yep.
You want to get that one?
Gummy says, even science has been turned on the American people.
That's what it seems like.
You guys are trying to get us to really talk.
It's a deep rabbit hole that if we went down politics in any which way, we'll be here for a week. But it's obviously a hot topic, and as long as everything stays civil, it should be all right,
Bush family was a mafia crime family. I agree. Crypto is a trap. Gold and silver, the only way, says Gummy.
And I've kind of worried about that too. Is crypto a trap because of the fact that the government can locate your money easier, track and trace it, and there may be the potential that they can shut it off? I don't like that at all, but I do like gold and silver. They don't know how much you got, where you got it, where it's hidden, and it's anti-inflationary. So
Gummy says, what happens when the war in our country, your digital currency means nothing when there's no power grid? Laugh out loud.
it's a good point.
Yeah. I mean,
If things went down that route, that would be a huge problem. You definitely want to go back to physical. So, yeah, that is something to worry about because we've been threatened with what the heck are them things called? Those magnetic bombs that wipes out the power grid.
EMPs.
Yeah, we've been threatened with EMPs, and we're going to go to a digital currency that is not anti-EMP. So that doesn't make any sense. So that would definitely cause a problem.
Mm-hmm. Cyber attacks, EMP bombs, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Tony says, why 800 million gone to Ukraine and why 18 meat factories are on fire in the last 4 months. Why bird flu taking over? I mean, why 800 million gone to Ukraine? $800 million? Is that what you're referring to? I would think.
That just reminded me, I think I put the wrong video out too. I was trying to put the video out for the Coke thing. I put out the chicken thing. I watched a little too many videos. Well, I listened to them. Let me see if I can find the right one.
I mean, I don't disagree with Tony, though. I think that he's onto something about food shortages and stuff like that. Like they're deliberately doing things, I think, to create an issue. That's part of what I'm talking about when I say it's both sides. Like they both know about it. It's not one side, right? You don't hear the other side calling it out, trying to protect the American people. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, I've just got a tinfoil hat on right now. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I see where you're going with the question. And I question everything, right? A free thinker is a free thinker. So
92% of the people, 92% of the women that voted said they don't trust Kamala Harris. And like I said, women have some of the best gut instincts about people. That tells you right there, women don't trust her. And that's definitely not good for Kamala. So here's that video I was talking about for Coca-Cola. Accidentally gave you guys the bird flu one, which that was an accident. But that's still a good one, too, to watch. It's kind of more of I don't know, kind of a scary thing because it seems like birds are dying for whatever reason, but they're actually COVID testing chicken. And if one chicken comes down with COVID, you have to wipe out all the chickens. It's one of them goofy things. I'd rather just cook the chicken. I think they're playing games, if you ask me, is what it is. The PCR test, they are, they're not 100% effective. They can send out false positives. So if you go to a chicken farm and you start testing chickens, I don't know why, they're pretending they're looking for that bird flu, and one of them kicks back a positive, you got to kill all your chicken. You can't bring it to market. And that's just the definition of insanity right there. Or the action of insanity.
already 20 million chickens down, says Tony.
Oh, it's scary. Definitely is scary.
Big Ray says, if America is the land of the free, then why can't we live off the land? That is a very good question, right? Even if you bought land up in the mountains of whatever state, pick one, doesn't matter. and you were the only one, you had the top of this mountain, and you went and you put solar on and all this other stuff, the town that you resided in, or whatever, they would come after you for money and tell you can't do that. You don't have approval. It happens all the time. There's no real true off living in America. Big Ray is right.
My buddy got a fine for he had a swimming pool out there. I guess since it wasn't covered, they considered it collecting water because it wasn't set up to actually swim in. He had it drained down, but it was collecting water, and they fined him for collecting rainwater, which is the weirdest thing I've ever heard of. Derek says Ross Perot would have been a great president. I think he would have been. I mean, he was a business guy. Seemed like he was kind of harmless. But, yeah, pretty sure the powers to be figured out how to keep him from being a power to be. Apes vs. Wall Street says they don't want Tulsi to be in office. She's the real deal. She's an American. Yeah, I think she's tough. I mean, she ate Kamala Harris up, so I do like her. Paulo says, I love the way Biden is trying to negotiate to stop this war. I'm sensing sarcasm on that, but I think all he did was ramp up the sanctions, but which I don't think really helped things. I don't really think there's a reason for Russia to be over there, but I see what Russia is doing, and I don't think it really has anything to do with that oil pipeline. I think that's just part of it. Golly Got a Glock says the people who put Gary Gensler in a position is who we need to talk to. That would be Joe Biden. I think he's in charge of that, and many of the other people too. Gary Gensler's not voted in. Gummy says divide and conquer 101 to take over the country. Yeah, I believe that. Divide and conquer is definitely a tactic they use to trick people into going a certain direction. Derek says hedge funds collected mass bonuses in 2008. That's true. They were popping champagne as they screwed everybody over. Pretty dirty. Then they got the bailout. Bonnie says, when will Build Back Better happen? Depends on what you're building back. You know, like if you're refixing the system and you're making it go back to the crappy way it was before, I mean, it looks like that's what they're doing. But if building back better had anything to do with improving things for Americans or the people, I mean, I don't see that happening at all. Everything seems like it's not gotten better. I mean, the Fed's obviously making massive mistakes. It's been hurting the people for the last couple of years now. Gummy says voting is an illusion for the masses. It never worked. Yeah, I kind of agree with a part of that. What are the chances broker dealers fixing the GME shareholder vote? I do worry about that. What if the voting for the share dividend thing, what if it gets rigged in a certain way to where it actually fails? Let's just hope that doesn't happen. What's your thoughts on that?
What are the chances of broker dealers fixing the GME shareholder vote? Wow. Yeah, that's a problem with voting today on anything, right? I think about that. You know, I do. I think about that. I think about it with AMC, HYMC, all of them. I don't know. I mean, how do we know if it's happens or not? Right? They do all that stuff behind the scenes. You won't even know about it. There's no tracking unless they have to provide some sort of proof that you voted like AMC did. Like when we voted for AMC, that was specific to your email, right? and it went specifically to a website where it was away from them. So as long as they put in the security to do it, I don't think it'd be an issue.
Gummy says, freedom of speech. I will never be silent when the COVID shot has killed my family. See, I went out and got the shot, and I thought it was going to be a good thing to do. After feeling the effects of how it turned out, I refused to get my next one. And then when they tried to suggest it for my daughter, I said, there ain't no way. You ain't touching her with it. But I do know my best friend, she believes in all that stuff. So her parents went and got it, and they're both suffering from blood clots now. And they say it's not true. It's conspiracy. I don't know. I see it firsthand. I believe what I see. I don't believe the hearsay that the media tells me. So it actually made me fearful. And I thought, what the heck, why not try it? And I tried it. And I'm like, man, this made me kind of sick and feel not good for 4 months. And then I see my best friend's parents suffering from it. And it's like, there's no way. Like, how did they make this thing even an idea? But to each their own. That's why you got the freedom to do it or not, I guess. And I choose not to. Golly got a Glock says NFL rigged checkmate, immaculation reception gloves. I've seen guys throw a tackle and dive away. Yeah, see, that's the exact thing that I was talking about. It seems like some players might be in on it too. I did see some of that stuff, and it is kind of weird. But again, it's conspiracy theory until you can prove it. But I've seen the footage, and it's very weird. Highway Frog says there's more true media coming out and getting faster and faster. Their time will come. Yeah, it's called alternative media. Like, mainstream has failed the people. Alternative media is doing an amazing job. We're still growing, using platforms and stuff like that. And I think in the long run, mainstream media will be gone because we all know they're corrupt.
I heard today that Trump Media Technology Group is doing their own search engine.
Oh, nice. Compete with Google. That'd be interesting because Google's got one heck of a foundation already built. It's gonna be tough to compete with them, but I mean, obviously Google filters out stuff. I mean, I have to go to DuckDuckGo sometimes to find things that you can't find on Google, which is that should not be a thing. You want to cover this one?
PPP loans for citizens were hold on a minute. PPP loans for citizens were minuscule compared to what corporates and Wall Street got and politicians, friends, and family. So what he's saying is there's a small amount that went to the citizens and the large amount went to corporations and Wall Street. And that was from Sam.
Yeah.
I don't know what Wall Street actually got, so I can't really say on that because I'm not sure what they got for loans, but I know big corporations, like there was several of them that weren't even supposed to get any money, and they did. Mark says, we live in an oligarchy. Both parties serve the oligarchs. And I would say that Matt knows what he's talking about.
I thought this was funny.
Hayden says, I'm back, dog. Had to go outside to take Kramer. Yeah.
Yeah, if you post something clean and funny, I'll most likely post it up there. Just giving you guys a heads up. I laughed when I seen it. You were over there talking, and I read it, and I started laughing. I was like, I hope he's not talking about something serious where I shouldn't be laughing.
That was a good one. I like that one. A judge ruled that COVID shot is experimental drug and the family was denied their insurance money. That mother has no father and no money, wake up. Now that mother has no father and no money, now wake up, says Gummy. You know, there's a lot of evidence about that. I mean, some people believe in it, some people don't. I personally try to stay away from it. You know, my mother had a stroke because of it, so that's just me. I just stay away from it.
Yeah, and the fact that, I mean, it was kind of nice that if it did work and it didn't hurt people, I mean, it would have been amazing. But I mean, obviously it was experimental. It shouldn't have been pushed on people, and it kind of was. So even after you get the shot, you still can get COVID. That's the worst part of it. They were trying to say 95% effective. No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
They should get in trouble for intentionally false advertising it.
It makes me wonder what the agenda actually is, right? Because in the beginning, remember when it hit Seattle and everybody was like, they were going to test out this COVID vaccine on people. And so there was a handful of people they tested on. I was all for it. You know what I mean? Let's test it out, see if it works. But it was, as it progressed, it got worse and worse. It was like, I don't know.
Yeah, Gummy says all vaccines take 5 years to be vetted. COVID shot was put out in less than a year. I mean, that should have been the indicator right there. That was like, take at your own risk. And mRNAs were, I thought they were like banned or something, or they were not supposed to be used, but they used it for this situation. And even that's risky. But the thing about the mRNAs, if you look at it, the cure for cancer is probably an mRNA. It's a form of a protein. So I'm pretty sure they already have the cure. They've been shelving it and hiding it from people for a long time, just like lithium batteries. I mean, GM went and got the patent for it and put it in a vault for 25 years. And then all of a sudden, lithium batteries pop up for drills. And then Elon's like, oh, EVs, we'll make those. And the information's been around, just GM never did nothing with it. After so long, it becomes like available to the public. And that's, now we got lithium batteries. Dana said I jumped back and forth and liked you both. Thanks, Dana. Appreciate it.
Dana's awesome. Thank you. She's out drinking, having a drink for us, Froggy.
I don't drink. She's going to have to drink one for me. Paulo says at the beginning of the pandemic, no one had a clue on how it worked or how to work it out. Yeah, that was the problem. There was so much panic and not really a strategy for any of this mess. So not sure if it was handled right or wrong, or if there's a better way to do it. I mean, hindsight, we can look back and say this could have been done to improve things, but at the time, I mean, I don't know. You would think that there was a bunch of people sitting at the round table saying this is what we should do. And that's what we got. Carl says, what I disliked was that Trump allowed the mRNA vaccine companies to get immunity for health damages from the vaccine. Yeah, that is definitely a problem. Because
I agree. And I just want to say something about Trump because, you know, he got away with doing that. I mean, that was directly him who did that. So anybody who thinks that I don't call it how it is that's not true, because Trump made some mistakes as well. That was one of his major mistakes, in my opinion, and then pushing it as well. Sorry, I didn't mean that.
Hold on. HA's trying to call in. He should just know better.
Bring him on. He's been messaging me. Says I owe him money.
Oh, did you take one of his bets?
I think I challenged him.
No, man. He's always trying to pull that, like, bet me I'm right thing. And I'm like, dude, I would clean up the floor. Gummy says it's called planned opposition. Open your mind. Yeah, you're exactly right. I think they planned both sides of the presidency. They got one puppet they want to get in there, and then they have a controlled other guy. And if the other guy is winning, they bring in a third guy to go and dilute their votes down to make sure that their primary guy gets in. So, again, that's tinfoil hat stuff, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
What else we got?
No, I'm going down it right now. I'm probably going to end up wrapping things up here, but we are way past on time. But we'll be definitely popping back up later. There's a bunch of stocks I want to cover, so we're going to probably open up a couple more videos tonight. What I did last night, which is basically cover like 5 important stocks. I'll probably do that twice tonight. And then tomorrow, I want to try to get back on early, get back into more things. We do have 1348 to cover and different trading strategies and stuff like that. But 1348 is definitely going to get pushed in. So we're going to start using it a lot more just so we can get people up to speed on it. So
look at this guy in chat, Jay Portuguese, trying to get me for money. You see that? What a grifter. I'm only teasing Jay.
Now, I want to do a shout out to Maz because I did see him in chat. So anybody that does show up, I do want to do shout outs to them. We did have the one from Ape Radio, and we did have Apes versus Wall Street. He did show up too. So I want to thank him for coming. Who else am I missing that showed up? I know we got pretty far off topic and went politics, but
oh my God,
I'm already trying to forget.
Chrissy represented for the terrible in the French community. You know, he came there. And, you know, we always have our usuals. It's always here. Ducknator, Digital Skyline, M. Hollister, Jack, S.U. Ray, Viper, Rick Rodriguez, Cornelius the 8, Doc 62, Shirley, Beaver 1515. She's always here. She's usually in the chat, but she's in the face all day. Glad that she did do that. Appreciate all you guys. Appreciate each and every one of you guys held it down today. I want to say this. You guys, you need to become a member. I'm telling you, when this thing rips, a membership is the lowest of $4.99, $4.99 a month. How much is that a day? Less than a quarter. Think about it, less than a quarter. Because when the squeeze happens, you're not going to be able to ask no questions. We will not take anybody's questions that's not a member. You have to be a member because it's going to be for members only. If you want that money indicator after the squeeze, he said he promised he's going to give to everybody after the squeeze. But for now, he's cheating. So when the squeeze does happen, he can tell you, okay, you can continue to hold. You can continue to hold. No, get out right now because the money's about to come in. Oh, no, you can continue, get out. No, continue. So you guys will become a member. As well as $4.99 a month. Plus, he's teaching you options and calls, puts, and all that other kind of stuff that you want to learn. He does it one-on-one. You can ask Cobra. He doesn't tell anyone. This person doesn't know. I don't even know. He doesn't even tell me. He keeps all that business to himself. So everyone become a member. We thank all the partners that are from the 8 Radio and Terrible, the Sense, and everybody. But everybody's in the chat right now. Thank you guys for stand as long as you did. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Those are in the chat. Please like and subscribe. Please jump over to the Mediocre Trader channel, like and subscribe as well. I think Froggy's coming back on. He said he'll let guys let you know. We got another routine. As my son would always say, Mom, build up. We out. So you, Froggy.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming, and I won't know exactly what time I'm coming back on. Just keep an eye out for the videos, because if I do a live stream, it's just to put some information out. It's easier to come on with Mediocre Trader and come on and just toss out the data on like AMC GME and stuff like that. So just keep an eye out for a live stream that you might have missed. Just check back, and if you see it, go ahead and watch it. You don't have to watch the whole thing, just because of the fact that most of the information you're probably looking for like AMC GME, just like what I did last night, it's going to be packed at the very beginning. And then if you were around for the question and answer, that will come after. And who knows what we talk about at the tail end of that. So at least catch the first 30 minutes of it. And that's pretty much it. That's what it's going to be intended for. And then the question and answer that follows, I have no idea what's going to happen, but we could be talking about politics again. I hope not, but who knows? But yeah, I mean, I decided to stay on a little bit longer today just because of the fact that everything was flowing pretty good. And like I said, I'm going to try to get back on later on tonight. Thank you, Hope, for a Generation 57 for becoming a platinum member. There's training videos over on Discord or on YouTube. Like there's basic ones for any member. And like I said, we're going to be working on other videos too. So, but Mediocre Trader, you want to go ahead and wrap things up?
Yeah, I just want to thank APESVS Wall Street for coming over, and the Massalorian and Miss Harris. I thank you very much. I appreciate you. Jay, you do awesome for me, and all the other mods. I appreciate you guys. You guys do a good job holding down the fort. And I just want to say to everybody, we're all in this together, right? No matter what, we're in this together. And I don't want nothing but the best for us and our country. I just want to put that out there. And I mean no disrespect to anybody. And if I can help you, I will. So with that, please jump over to Froggy's Discord and jump on my Discord so we can, help some people out and stuff like that. And don't forget to smash that like button and that subscribe button and hop on over to Froggy's and do the same thing, and we'll see you guys later.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming. We'll definitely see you later on tonight.
I want to say, I forgot this, because Casey Shaw, I owe him much respect, because I go in his chat in the morning. So, Casey Shaw, appreciate you. And Jay Portuguese, oh, you're like my son. So, I appreciate everything you do. Mello, all you guys. Go ahead. I think I just want to say that, because Casey Shaw is the greatest in the morning. He's the greatest. That's what I need to say.
Yeah, is he here in Space Call right now? I want to do a shout out to Casey Shaw, another good guy. Uh-oh, dog's attacking. But, yeah, thank you guys for coming, and I'll see you guys later on tonight. We're going to be definitely covering some stocks. Probably going to be 2 videos, so keep an eye out for it. If you don't catch it tonight, watch it tomorrow after it's done. The only thing you've missed out is the live chat, and that's pretty much it. So keep an eye out for it. We'll be back. So have a good night, and thank you guys for coming.
Good night, guys. Peace.